And welcome to another episode of More Conversations with the Average Black Man. I am the average black man. Yes, I am. Yes, yes. No, I'm just playing.
He's an asshole.
And my lovely co-host, Morphine.
Hi everybody. How you doing?
Yes, yes, yes,
I'm
yes,
happy
yes.
to be here. And we had a bye week. Did y'all miss us? Did you miss us a little bit? You know.
They forgot about
I'm
us. That's why we ain't got nobody watching right now. I ain't gonna tell nobody else though.
we ain't gonna say nothing.
I go to nobody else. We want to welcome Miss Fields to this panel and Mr. Paul to the panel. We coming right out the gate today with a panel on the topic: Can Black folks be racist? Yes,
Mhm.
can they? So let me throw this on here real quick. Let me get this out the way. Let me do this.
Race relations have always been a huge topic in the United States. Conversations surrounding racism and inequality have sparked a conversation based around the question: can black people be racist? Some say black people can't be racist because racism requires assertion of power, and black people are not in a position of power to be racist. Other people completely disagree with this viewpoint, and believe all people can be racist. On the next episode of More Conversations with the Average Black Man, we will explore this idea.
Indeed, indeed. So, can black people be racist? Does racism require an assertion of power?
Well,
Y'all don't know I'll talk at one time. I don't know.
I mean, don't all talk about
I was still trying to comb my hair.
it.
I'm sorry, my phone is acting up. Am I giving y'all? Is there an echo or
Well,
something?
as host, as a host and hostess, you go first. To set the tone of our show, since we always go first, so we might as well keep our tradition alive.
All right, all
Um,
right, all right. So you gonna go? You want to go? Ladies first. Go ahead.
all right, because I was already talking. So I'm gonna say for myself, I think that Black people can be racist, more so towards each other than other races. In an instance of what we see racism, what we learn racism is, I think that's more towards each other than and whether that's globally or whether that's local, whether it's globally or whether it's just here in the United States. I think that oops, sorry. I think that for us it's more of an inside job than us hating another race. Or I don't think we have that much disdain to hate a whole nother race. More so ourselves. So I'm just gonna say that. That's just my opinion. Stop.
Okay. Can y'all hear
Welcome
me?
to this. Yeah, welcome to the panel, Maurice.
Welcome, Maurice.
Good evening, Maurice.
What's up?
Maurice.
I think we
Sorry
can
about that.
be.
Yeah. What's up going on? I'm having technical difficulties, but don't worry about it. Carry on.
Okay.
I think we can be when you look up the definition of racism. Um, and racist is just a person that uh, I'm hearing an echo. Maybe I need to leave and come back.
All right. It says the definition says racist, characterized by showing prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. A person who is prejudiced or antagonistic toward people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. That is
And
the
I'm gonna say
definition
we're
of race.
more we're more of that with each other than any other race. I'm sorry, like it just It oozes out in our music, it oozes out in the things that we're talking about, our topics that we're talking about on social media. Is more so of each other than other races. We're not over here talking about the disdain of Asian people or Latino people or any of that. We talk about ourselves more than anything. So for Black people, I'm going to say, yeah, we're very racist towards each other.
All right. Let me read the ism because this is an ism, racism,
Racism.
prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or an institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership to a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is minority or marginalized. The belief that different races possess distinct characteristics, attributes, or qualities, especially so as to distinguish them as inferior or superior to another. Theories
It,
of racism.
this is making my point even more drastically. Who do Black people do that more with? Each other.
But wouldn't that be more like classism or something that like would it really be considered
Okay,
racism if we're doing it to each other?
possibly morphine. Check your Facebook. I'm gonna check my Facebook to see who Facebook user is that wants to jump in.
Alrighty. I don't know if that would be. I mean, maybe for racism, it's all of the above, meaning that it has a little to do, the has a little to do with classism, and it has to do a little with colorism. So maybe it's like a matrimony, both of those subjects or isms marrying each other. The StreamYard is posted on my page. Now I could go on
Right.
my YouTube
And
and
I just
see.
dropped it on my YouTube. So if somebody looking for my YouTube, okay.
Yeah,
Who
it's
hurt
definitely
you?
there.
I'm about to go to my YouTube and make that happen too.
All right, there you go. Because I know it's on mine already. What's up? Who hurt you? Thank you for joining. And all viewers that are joining us, that is watching us, that has something to say or have an opinion on this topic, can Black people be racist, are welcome to join.
Yes, everyone's welcome to join. Click the link that's in the comments and on all on all platforms you're watching on. We're throwing the link out there right now. Anybody that wants to come up, come on.
I'll say this while y'all doing that. I absolutely not only do I believe, but I know that Black people can be just as racist as any other um, race of people. I know that because I'm biracial, and I've had my share of um, racism with the Black side of my family. And well, in the beginning, when I was young, that was in '77. Okay, we in 2024. Um, but there were a lot of snide remarks and things of that nature. Dad brought home a snow bunny, and I wasn't as accepted as I probably would have been had my father had a daughter with a Black woman. Granted, I didn't hear them personally at that young age, but I did hear them later on down the road. So yeah, I think that everybody has the ability to have some racist remarks
I
or
would disagree.
you can disagree.
I think
Wall Street only in the building. Listen, I'm gonna keep it brief, right? But here's something I wanted to fundamentally throw out there. When we read these definitions from the Webster, like I posted, read the definition of black and see if you agree with that. So we can't just agree with everything in Webster just because Webster said it. In my opinion, racism specifically, we got to understand there's a difference between racism and prejudice, right? So racism has to do with an institution. It has to do with positions of power, being able to alienate people from certain shit. And black people can't necessarily do that. There's not too many groups on this earth that can actually be racist. Now, prejudice, yeah, a lot of races are prejudiced even against their own people. But when you specifically talk about racism, you're talking about a structure that other groups don't have that can prevent other people from doing certain things.
But what makes the system or structure itself racist? Isn't it the racism that's in the people that created the system? So
It,
if people are not racist, they cannot create a racist system. If people are racist, then they create a system that reflects their views, which is their racist views.
so again, I think we all have the ability to be prejudiced. Prejudice and racism are two very different things. Racism can stop you from getting a job. Redlining can stop you from buying a home. Prejudice will make you snap on somebody because they got a wide nose, or make you talk shit about them because they're black. So are we prejudiced to ourselves internally? Absolutely. I agree with that. But racism, that's a different thing that shouldn't be diminished. Racism actually stops people from attaining things.
Go ahead, Miss. Go ahead,
Very
Mr.
big difference.
Paul.
Okay. I'm so sick of that argument. You're talking institutional racism. When we look up that definition of racism, it includes prejudice. Prejudice is a dislike. Racism is not limited to is only concerning a power structure. Before it's a power structure, there has to be a reason for them to put that into place, such as superiority, certain traits. That's racism. Uh, all black men are good at basketball. All of them can play sports and run really fast. That's racist. But then again, we admire those things that we think are great, so we don't look at it as racist. We actually believe them ourselves.
Right? And that's
So
not prejudice. That's racist. That's a racist stereotype.
it's a
That
stereotype. So racism is not uh, defined solely on institutionalism and how you can control someone. Racism and discrimination are pretty much one and the same synonymous. When you look up those words, matter of fact, since you don't like Webster, why don't you look up in Oxford? Check out what Oxford has
that's what
to
I
say.
read. I actually
I'm,
read the Oxford. That
so
was
I'm
what I
gonna be
read.
honest. I'm
So
not
so
concerned. That
hold on. Let me land the plane. Let me land the plane. I really think we need to stop this. I applaud Dr. Claude Anderson for trying to wake black people up and what have you, but he was the first one I heard to say racism is an institution or institutionalized racism.
peace to the
And
elder.
he might not have been the first, but he was the first one I heard say that. And I get it. However, I think we're getting lost in that ideology because it's really what it really starts with is one race being superior to another. White folks saw us and thought we're better than them. Let's capture them.
You know what's
We
one
are
of the
better.
best? You know what's one of the best examples of the difference between racism and prejudice? Clarence Thomas, right? If you've read his book is called something like On My Grandfather's Child or something like that. It was a good book. I learned a lot about him, right? It was black people that called him the ABC, the absolute blackest child, right? If you look at where he is in American society, he's probably one of the most powerful people on earth. Racism can prevent you from doing something. Prejudice is just ignorant comments. It's a very big difference. All those black people who talked about him, they could do nothing to stop his ascent. Racism can stop you from getting a job.
All right. So let me ask you this, bro. If black folks love to say a certain group of people when they get wet smell like wet dogs. Is that racist or prejudice?
That's prejudice.
No, it's not.
So what?
Prejudice is
So what?
no, no,
That
no.
smell
Listen,
like
listen. Wait,
wet
wait, wait, wait,
dog.
wait, wait, wait,
They'll
wait.
get
Hang
a
on, hang
better
on,
job than
hang
you.
on, hang on, hang on. Wait, wait, wait. We got to make these words are the meaning of
That's some
words are
racist.
important. Look, the meaning of words are important. Prejudice means an extreme dislike towards a group of people or a thing. You can be prejudiced against hamburgers. I hate eating hamburgers. They nasty. That's a that's
Absolutely.
a that's a prejudice.
Absolutely.
Now saying a certain group of people smell like wet dog is not prejudice. That's not saying you hate them. That's just a straight out racist remark.
You
It's just
think
racist.
thinking someone smells like a dog is loving? Of course, it's a hateful comment.
It's,
That's prejudice.
no, it's not.
Saying someone
It's
smells like a
it's
wet dog.
saying black people are the best dancers, saying black people are the best athletes and the basketball players. All black people can play basketball because they black. All black people can. Those are that
You
is untrue
you
for
can
one. That
you
is
can be
untrue for one.
prejudiced
That is
towards
that is
positive.
untrue for listen. That is untrue for one. That is untrue for one. And two, the prefix of saying all black people makes it a racist comment. It makes it indicative to a statement about race. So therefore, by default, makes it a racist term. Doesn't mean it's negative, but it's
You can
still
be
a racist term.
prejudiced
We
towards
just it's
positivity. I
for
can
the
say,
definition of what racism is and the definition of what racist is. I think what's his name? Wall Street is talking about racism versus the panel talking about racist.
but racist,
Where
race
racism
is the
is
root
more
word.
like some it's a racism is more like a systematic more so than racist is more of a prejudice. You could there
And that's
isn't
where I disagree.
no there isn't like prejudice is the root of racism.
If you
It's the
look at
root of it.
if you look at
You get what I'm
Jim
saying? You
Crow,
can't have it without you can't be a racist without prejudice.
if you look at Jim Crow, if you look at apartheid, if you look at any systematic setup of oppression, it was based on race, which
Mm-hmm.
ties into racism.
Mm-hmm.
Prejudice is a very different thing. You can be prejudiced towards positivity. I could be prejudiced towards black people actually being the best dancers, right? That doesn't make it right, but it means I have a prefixed idea of what I think. I have a
I
certain prejudice.
I got a question for brother. Do you think Hitler was a racist or was he prejudiced?
I mean, I think it's a
Not
fact
concerning.
that
Hold on. Not
murdering a
concerning
specific race.
black people. I know somebody goes, "Yeah, but I
You
don't want
breaking
to
up.
talk
You
nothing
breaking
about
up,
us."
Paul.
Okay. How about how about now? Am I still breaking up?
Nah,
No,
you
Is
you
it
clear.
still
good.
bad? Okay. I don't hear nothing about nobody. Please don't bring up Hitler, what he thought about black people. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about what he did with the Jews.
You asked
Was
me a
that
question. You said,
I
"Do I
know
think Hitler
I
was
want to
racist?"
clarify, bro. Can I clarify and ask
I'm ready
why
to
I'm
answer you,
asking?
but go ahead. You can clarify.
Okay, the reason I'm asking about Jews is because some people will say they were still white. My question and it still remains: was Hitler a racist?
And very simply, I can answer you absolutely. He was murdering a specific race of people. What I said to you was all over the earth, when you have these systems and these things that happen in world history, in politics, certain things are based specifically on race. So those systems become racist systems. Whether you're
So
That's
talking
be
what I
about Jim
said.
Crow in America, whether you're talking about Hitler and the Jews, whether you're talking about South Africa and apartheid, whether you're talking about the Gaza Strip and the Muslims over there, many
one more.
things are based in their policy specifically on
Okay,
race.
so
That's
before, so
racism.
okay, so what I was trying to say because you were so eager to answer, and I felt compelled to go ahead and let you answer. I wanted to really ask you before he came into power, was he a racist?
That's a tricky question only because are you talking
And I
about the day
and I
before he
right.
established the SS? Or are you talking about as a child? I think things that happen along the way in people's lives can make them racist. So at some point before he became the Fuhrer, yes, he was a racist.
All right. So that goes back to the point that I said earlier that
Before
you repeat. No, but that goes back to
wow.
the point that I made earlier that he repeated is that the individual is racist. And when the individual just so happens to be in a position of power, they can create a system that reflects their
Absolutely.
racist views.
Absolutely.
So it's not so a system can only be racist if the individuals themselves are racist. So therefore, if I'm a business owner and I got in a hypothetical scenario, I can hire 1,000 people and I hire only black people. That's racism, bro.
I don't
Straight
agree.
up.
I don't
That's
agree.
ra- that's
I don't
racism.
disagree with Jews hiring Jews. I don't disagree with Mexicans hiring Mexicans. I don't believe that's racism. I believe that's uplifting your own people. Racism, again, back to what I said before, is specifically alienating certain people so they don't have certain access to certain things. You're a Muslim, you got to show 50 million IDs before you can walk through this metal detector. If you're in South Africa under apartheid, if you're black, you got to be in bed by a certain time. That's racism. It stops people from doing certain things. It alienates them. That's
Dude,
the
if
difference.
if I
Prejudice
got
doesn't
if I
alienate. Me
look,
saying I think
if I
black
have a
people.
job, if I have a business and I'm in a position to hire 1,000 people, which means any 1,000 people I want to hire, and I specifically target black people, which means I root out other people. That's racism, bro. It's
I don't agree.
black and white.
I think that
No,
you're smart.
it's empowering black
I
people.
have the
You're not
utmost
giving them.
respect for the Chinese and Jews that hire their own. That's not racism. That's empowering your own. I don't even
But
be mad at white people for doing that. My only beef with them in terms of this American structure is stopping me from doing something that I can do. You don't necessarily have to hire me, but to tell me I can't drink from this water fountain, to tell me I can't apply for this job, to tell me I can't live in this area, that's racism.
Dude,
I
if
don't
I say
necessarily have a problem
it,
with prejudice.
dude, if I got this business and there is 20,000 people that apply for this job, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going through the applications like
Mm-hmm.
James Rutherford, that's a white
Yep.
boy, no thank you. Such and such, just just whatever white, no, that sounds like a
Yep.
white name. Oh, Jaime Hernandez, no, that's not a black. That's racism, bro. That is
I don't
me
agree.
being in a
I don't
position of
agree.
power to, because these are your words. Racism is being able to stop people from doing things. So
Right.
I'm stopping these people from working at my company because I am targeting a specific group that I want to hire. That's
Me
racism.
stopping
And that,
them from working at my company doesn't mean it stops them from having a position, right? You can find another company to work at, but in terms of my company, I'm hiring my own. I don't have an issue with Chinese people to do that, or Jews to do that, or anyone else. I think as black people, our issue with that is we want to get hired by other people, and we don't have the infrastructure where we can say comfortably, I'm good because I know I'm going to get hired by my own. So we have an issue with that, with their own empowerment. All these other different groups, whether it's Muslims, whether it's Africans. I don't think Africans can come to America and be racist against me. I think they can be prejudiced, but I don't think they can stop me from doing anything except for working at their hookah spot or their store or whatever they got. But I can find another store to work at. It's not like I'm
that
completely
that's that
alienated
whole
from
argument.
obtaining a
That
position.
whole argument gets destroyed. Go ahead, Paul, because I'm like, because that whole argument gets destroyed.
Because he keeps talking institutional racism. Anytime we have these discussions, people go straight to institutional and not individual people. You know why they don't want to go to individual people? Because then it takes away the argument they want to say, oh no, prejudice. No, racism is racism. Being a racist is being a racist. You're talking constant institutional racism. For instance, we talk about racial remarks. Those aren't what's the other prejudice?
Institutionalized.
That's
Mhm.
not prejudice. That's a racist comment. If I say,
Hey,
oh, stringy haired ass, Oh, stringy haired ass, goat smelling, dog smell. That's a racist comment. That ain't prejudice.
Mm-hmm.
That's your opinion. That's
No,
your
that's
If
the
opinion.
I,
That's
definition
not
of the
a
word.
racist comment.
if
That's
I
the
think
definition
that
of the word.
racism says one race is superior to another, that's what racism is defined as. Not a
Now,
structure, not a
again,
structure. That's something new that we're giving it. Racism is defined, and well, its structure comes within that. But if you read it again, racism or racism is superiority over another. If you just thinking you're better, just saying that you're better, and
now
that
again,
these
this is where we're always going to come to a point of contention because I don't necessarily agree with those definitions. Like I said, if you read the definition of black, I don't necessarily agree with the definition in those books you're quoting. So that's going to be a
because
place where
once
we
you
constantly
heard
to a point of contention. That's not
because
an
institutional
intel for
racism
me.
sounded better to you. The
Oh,
the
I got a
the the, the
hold
question.
using
on, hold on. Wait, hang on, Paul. Hang on, Paul. This is
my
my
bad,
thing.
my
This is
bad.
my thing. Well, he's saying he don't agree with the definition, so that means you don't. You basically saying that since a word doesn't mean what you want it to mean, you don't fuck with that. Fuck the definition. The dictionary don't agree with me, so fuck the dictionary. Yeah, get the
No,
fuck
that's not
out
what I'm
Basically,
saying.
no.
of here.
That's not
Like,
what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I
That's what
know
you're saying.
information is power. And I know people in power use information and disinformation to get things done. Again, back to my point. I don't think anybody in here that reads the definition of black would necessarily agree.
Okay, black, a very dark or darkest color, deeply stained with dirt, as an example. Uh, Two, belonging or denoting from a group of humans that are dark skin tone, especially the sub-Saharan Africans. A period of time categorized as tragic, uh, denoting a covet of military procedure, a color of pigment. I'm not hearing nothing that I
Now,
disagree
now
with, bro.
peep it. Now peep some fly shit, right? I'm just gonna go off what you read. Obama's presidency was a moment in time defined by blackness, right?
To some people, yes.
I was on the up. It's not this miserable time that your definition is saying that it was. Blackness, a time defined by horror and misery. And yeah, I get it. It was the Black Plague because someone named it that. But that doesn't define my definition of blackness.
So let me ask, do you know the difference between a noun, a verb, an adjective, denotative meaning,
So
connotative
you've
meaning?
been
Do these
having a
things make do these
don't
things
insult me
mean
like
anything to
that.
you? Do these things mean anything to you?
You've been having a conversation. You don't insult me by asking
No,
questions.
because what I read, all of those things are very important. So you're saying you're saying exactly what I gave an example of earlier. You said your definition, which means that you have in your head your own dictionary that is Wall Street's
I never said that.
dictionary.
I never said
No,
that.
you no,
I
you just
said
said
I
it.
don't
You
agree
just
with
said it.
everything in that book. I don't agree with everything in the Bible. That doesn't mean I don't think it's a powerful tool. And there's a lot of knowledge and things that are right fact in that. There are parts of it that I
well,
know
well,
are
well, he's
corruption.
entitled to his opinion. He's entitled to his opinion. We're not going to argue whether one's opinion is wrong or right.
So
We
people though.
asking the people what's their opinion, so
But
that's
hold
his
on.
opinion.
Let me tell. So to your point of let me ask you this first. Do you consider yourself a black person?
Me?
Whom?
Yes.
You. All
Oh.
right. Do
Yes.
you consider yourself stand?
I can't hear you. You broke
Do
up.
you consider yourself stand?
You broke up again. Let me mute somebody. I think somebody got some background noise. Okay, there you
Stand
go. Do I consider
like
myself
like
what?
like Tide, like Downey. Do you consider yourself stained as you read in your definition?
No, but that's a different connotation.
Right. Stained
That
has
doesn't
a
apply.
negative connotation. And there's a negative connotation attached to black, and it's not for no reason. So if I have the
So,
liberty to go ahead.
so, so what?
So my point
So
is,
what?
so
So
my
what?
point
That
is
is a negative connotation on being
right.
black. So what?
So
You
now
can say
you have to determine whether you agree or not. So when I asked that man, is he a black man? My next question was, does he consider himself stained? Does he
And
consider
I
Yes,
himself
I
with an
am stained
automatic
with the dirt
negative
of that I came
connotation?
from. Yes, I am. This is why I'm black. I
So
am
you think
stained.
you're
hey,
I
wow?
am.
But
I
it's
So
am
you
hey,
think
stained
it
with
any
the
is
black
dirt
man
that
negative.
I came
is stained?
from, that
hang on.
men came from.
Let's
I
let
am.
Jesse in. Jess been waiting, and Trey Ferg. Shout out to Trey Ferg. He been waiting too.
No, just real quick, he just really read the definitions of different definitions
Connotations.
of the word black. So one is a color, one could be a dark space. Like I went in the closet and it was black. Like, that's something a toddler might say. They might not say dark, it was black. That doesn't mean that everything is negative. And then one said pigmentation. So, like Tim said, like the feeling I'm gathering from you is you're only going by what you want to believe that definition is, not what the broad definition of the word black is.
And you'd be absolutely right.
Which is what I said
What I'm
earlier.
saying to you is, I have the
There
choice whether I agree
we go.
with everything I'm reading or some of what I'm reading. So when I go through that dictionary, I agree with the overwhelming majority of what I'm reading. There are portions of it I don't agree with. So when you read your definition, you said stained. Stained automatically has a negative connotation. Do you want to walk outside
Does
in any
it?
stained?
Does it? So hold
Do
on,
you
Does
hold
want
it?
to
on.
walk
Wait,
outside in your best
Wait,
outfit if
pause,
it's
pause.
hang on,
Let's
hang on,
evaluate
Keisha.
the
Oh, go
idea.
ahead.
If you think the stain is a negative is a negative connotation or has a negative tone to it, what is wrong with being stained? I like stained wood,
No.
don't you?
I think stained
I
has
was
a
getting to
negative.
that, Keisha.
Like,
I
I
think
was getting
right?
to
stained
that.
Like,
overwhelming
I like.
has a negative connotation. I don't think
I'm like.
anybody would want to walk out of here in their best outfit and it be stained.
it depends
Hey,
on how it's stained. Is it stained
hey,
artistically?
hey, I used to meet with back
Is
in
it
the early
avant-garde
'90s. Me and my
now that
cousin.
is stained?
Hey, look, back in the '90s, me and my cousin used to make tie dye T-shirts, right? And you know
Thank
what
you.
it's
Oh, you,
called?
you took it off my
That
mouth
pro
because tie dyes is stained.
that process is called staining. You stain it
Staining.
blue, you stain it white, you stain it green, you stain it yellow, and that's the name of the process. But never mind. Maybe I'm
I
And,
like
tripping.
that,
Like you
stained
and
in
said,
that's
leather.
real.
You ever got
And
stained
that's
in leather
real.
before?
And now we have to weigh things out, right? Do you think stained leather overwhelms the whole product of Tide, which is designed to get the stain out of your clothes? I think overwhelmingly, stained is considered a negative term. If we
So
don't
what?
agree with that, we kind of playing games.
no, we
Yeah,
don't
but
agree with that.
So
I'm not
what?
I'm
No, we're
not
not
denying
agreeing.
that the
Even if
process of
it
tie
is,
dyeing is
even
considered
if it
staining.
is, so
I'm not
what?
denying that.
So what?
yeah, but
Even
It's
if
like
you're right,
it's like prejudice. It's like I
without the
said with
extra
prejudice.
ideas,
It's like I
Tide is
said with
color
prejudice,
set.
right? You can be prejudiced in what's considered a positive light. I can be prejudiced to thinking LeBron James is the greatest player to ever touch the rock. So every conversation I have, it's going to be ultra difficult to convince me that anyone's better because I'm prejudiced in thinking he's great. That doesn't mean I think prejudice as a whole is a positive word.
you sure the right word is prejudice and not bias? Okay, so I want to say this. Um, it's something that you said that resonates with the conversation right now. The conversation is to go around the board for those who watching and those who here on the panel to talk about how what's their opinion of black people being racist. Can they be racist? And if they couldn't, that's cool. And the way that you think how it should go is okay as well. But I'm going to talk about interpretation. You can read a definition, and I can interpret it one way, and you're going to interpret another way. I could say
I'm
one word, I could
so,
say purple, and you could think royal purple. You could think
but I may
lavender.
agree.
So it's about how people interpret what they're reading and how the information conveys to them for
I
their
think my
input.
might surprise you. I'm gonna wait to answer whether I think black people can be prejudiced or not. I think my answer surprise you.
I was just gonna real quick add because she said I think there's a wrong word. You're saying things you're using certain situations like I could say that LeBron is the best player and that's a prejudice statement, but that's not a prejudice statement. That's a bias statement or a preference. It's not a prejudice.
Mm, mm.
I
I
think
would
you
like to
This is
too
why
ask
much.
another
this is why
question.
kind of
I
this is
would
why
like to
kind
ask
of
another
faith is
question.
very
Could a
important.
preference be racist when you're talking about skin tone? Like if a guy said, I only like dark skinned women
Absolutely.
or I only like light skinned women, is that a racist remark? Does that become racist? Because how the fudge do you have a skin tone preference without that being a little in depth in racism? Hold on, wait, y'all need to see my face when I'm saying this.
So
How
I'm looking at the
how that work?
definition of
Like how that
prejudice.
work?
The first definition of prejudice is an opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience. Right? That's since we're going with the definition. That's the
Hold on, read that
definition.
one more time.
One more again.
An opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience.
Okay.
An opinion
And then
that's
it
based
goes
on
into
reason without
law
actual experience.
Well,
So
and
you
let's
can
other
let's
have an
start.
things.
What's
opinion. Hold on,
preference?
wait a minute, wait a dang minute.
That's a not
You can have
that's
an
the verse. That's
experience. Wait
hang
a
on.
minute. You can have an
Go ahead.
experience of of say a dark skinned woman just being mean as fuck and have a straight up prejudice without it being racist. Is that what that said?
That's
Like, are
a
y'all listening to
that
what
so
y'all
I
saying?
understand your question.
Like,
I understand your question. That's a layered question. To
yeah.
answer it simply, can you have a prejudice without necessarily being racist? Absolutely. Do I think
Wow.
that most people who have prejudice aren't racist or have racist undertones? Undertones that may have been taught to them by
Wow.
racism.
This is the
No,
first thing that he
I
said
do
I
think
agree
that
with.
most people who are prejudiced
Look,
do
you
have
even think it's
some
more for you to choose your chicken.
undertones of racism.
This is the first thing he said that I agree with because, like I said, when it comes to stereotypes are just what they are. That doesn't mean that the person that adheres to the stereotype is inherently racist. This is true. Believe if if an Asian person believes that all black people are the best dancers, that's not it. They just believe that because that's the stereotype. That doesn't necessarily mean they're saying it from a racist place.
An
That's
opinion that is
this the
not
first thing.
based,
So far. This is the first thing he said.
peep it, bro.
That's
An
I agree with.
opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience. So if I say the white women smell like dogs, have I smelled every white woman? It's not
Yeah.
based on my experience.
Why
It's just
isn't
something
it?
I'm throwing out there.
That's still a racist ass
That
statement.
sounds like based on your experience. Every time you smelled a white woman, she smelled like dog.
Right, and it don't have to be
So
all
So
white.
here,
It
so
just
here's the
it don't
thing,
got to
right?
be
Here's the
all white
thing, right?
women. It's just your experience of white women. They smell like dog. So technically, under the definition that you gave, that's not racist.
Yeah,
That's why I
no,
said
it's
fucking wow.
prejudice. It's prejudice because it's not based on one experience and it's not based on what was the other part? Reason, right? So I can say that the white women that I've dated smelt like dog,
I think
but
it's
the
based on
other
reason
brother
because the
next to me
motherfuckers
may
don't wash
get access
their
to a
ass.
better type of white woman than me. They might
Probably
not
not even
smell
a reason
like dog.
why they do.
I haven't
It's
experienced
probably not.
all white women.
It's probably a reason why some white people smell like dogs, and it's probably very fucking logical. We just keep making jokes out of it because we're racist.
I mean, I know it's a prejudice. I bone white women. No, they don't all smell like dog.
I never said they all. I said it's probably many reasons why white people may smell like dogs, and it may be fucking logical. We just keep making jokes out of it because we're racist.
When you say white people
I know
smell
that's
like
not helpful.
dogs, you're encompassing a group of people. That creates the space for prejudice. You don't know all white people.
I don't need to know.
There are white people you'll never have access to. You don't know what they smell like.
It said based on
Mhm.
experience.
So we're gonna let
It
Brother
is
Trey
not
speak,
a
y'all,
race.
or y'all just gonna keep going back and forth with Wall Street?
Yeah, I'm tired of the withdrawal.
I ain't
Let
going
Brother
nowhere. I'm
Trey.
outside. Go ahead, Bill.
All right, let's go to another person. What is your Trey? What is your thoughts on can the black people be racist?
How y'all doing, man? Hope everybody had a great weekend. Listen, call me racist, call me prejudiced. Once they get wet, bringing this off the last statement, once they get wet, they all smell the same. To me, that's just my opinion. Now, as far as racist, I think it's hard. To some capacity, I think we all carry a little bit of that because for the most part, we understand the experience of it. Yeah, could I be racist in a sense? Yeah. Could I be prejudiced in a sense? Yeah. So I don't know, just to the degree, I'm not so much that way to where I'm going to allow it to stop me from having opportunities, whether it's with people that look like me or people of another race. So I think it just comes down to, to what degree you're willing to let it impact your life. There's certain, you can see it in corporate, you can see it in, just in our neighborhoods. You don't see too many black owned stores, but we won't even go and support our own that are trying to build that type of business. So sometimes we are racist and prejudiced towards our own because we assume certain things just based off who we are.
Can
So,
I build on the brother's point?
Can I want
So,
to add to,
go ahead.
I think real quick, I think a lot of like black people are like a lot like white people. We don't like that word racist like they don't like it. They can't stand the R word. We can't stand the R word. So what do? We replace it with prejudice.
Good point.
Now, I want to respond to both those brothers, right? I want to respond to the last brother first. This is why I'm so adamant about setting lines and defining things. I love the word racist. It lets me know who I'm dealing with. If you listen to Malcolm X's speech, he said, "What made you hate being black?" What made a lot of us hate being black was a system of racism that created prejudices in our own mind. But I don't hate race. I don't hate the word racist. I like to see them. I like to know them. When I see that big American flag flying as I'm driving down the highway, when I see those vote for the Donald signs, I know what I'm dealing with. I like certain things defined for me.
Yeah, but I said we don't like that word, meaning like white people don't want to be called it. We don't want to be called it. That's what I said, bro, because we replaced it with prejudice.
But I
Now,
want to
when
ask
I
Negative.
say
Again, it has a negative connotation to it. Nobody wants
real,
to be
real
called
quick,
racist.
real quick. Now, me myself, I don't have a
Y'all
problem with
had
someone
y'all back and
calling me
forth. Y'all had y'all
that.
back
I
and
don't.
forth. Let Justice
I just.
respond.
Okay. All right.
I just wanted to ask the gentleman that just was talking, and he said that I don't remember it verbatim, but pretty much that a system made us hate ourselves and have prejudice towards ourselves. But how does that even work? So they told you to hate yourself because you're black, and that's what you did, because
I
that's what
mean,
that sounded like to me.
the short, the short answer, the short answer is absolutely. The long answer is listen to Dr. Cresswell.
I would like Paul to respond to that.
To what is it you wanted me to respond to?
What she said. And
About
he wanted to respond to what he said as well. I just wanted
he
her to
went
get
back
out.
right because he went right back to systematic racism. What did he say? There's a system that's been put in place. Again, you're dealing with systematic racism as opposed to individual racism. See, when we talk about individuals, people being racist, they run from that one because
Mm-hmm.
it's easier to attack the system as opposed to an individual. See, when you take away the hold on, you take away the power structure, the power dynamic structure, and you run your neighbor got a big Confederate flag or U.S. flag with Trump and all that, and all of a sudden he don't like you because this is what he supports. You know, he's supporting this Trump or he got this big flag and he's always playing uh, 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 the national anthem and getting mad at people for not standing and all that. You know, you're not patriotic. You know that. You know what I mean?
All
That's
right,
that.
all right,
That's
all right,
that.
all right. Wait a minute, Paul. So, Wall Street, can you address can black people be racist as an individual and not systematically? Could you address that?
I believe that the system of racism has completely ruined the minds of some of our people, and yes, we can definitely take on racist tendencies.
I'm going to answer that question for you. Say no, you cannot answer this question without including systematic racism. That is not going to work for you, and that is okay. That is okay. No one is going to judge
I
him on
don't.
that.
So
No one
so
has
look.
nothing negative to say
So
about
hold
that
on.
shit.
Look, back
Like,
to the book
okay,
that I brought up.
across the
Right.
board. I'm looking at everybody. Like, no
Back
one
to
is
the book
that's
that I brought up. So I brought up um what's his name, Clarence Thomas's book. Right. I absolutely think Clarence Thomas has become racist. I think a lot of that stems from the prejudices that his own people had against him.
okay. Again, you're not going to address this as a individual situation without the systematic I want to say origins of it all. We already understand the origins of it all when it comes to black people. We get it. We know. Like, we got a mixed sister up here. We got a light skinned brother down there. We got a nice little tan brother on the other side of me, and we got chocolate people in the building. So we know. You get what I'm saying? We get it. But once it becomes at 2024, we don't know what the fuck it's like to have a whites only fucking fountain. We just don't know. We do you know what it's like to drink out of that, Miss Fields? Okay, Mr. Ferg, do you
I can
know
say I do.
what it's like to do to live
I can
in
say
that
I
type of
do.
time? Okay, no, you don't. Paul, do you know what
You're
it's like,
saying that, but if you allow me to explain,
brother?
Goldman
If you're,
Sachs
I'm
is a
just saying
whites only bathroom.
simply, what is a whites only bathroom?
Goldman Sachs, right? Because you niggas can't get up on that floor.
Goldman Sachs is a bank.
Listen to my point. They're not hiring.
Why would we be
And
able
here's
to
the
go
thing.
in the
And here's
bank
the thing.
floor where they
And
it's
here's
the
the thing,
bathroom?
right? If one or two niggas can use the bathroom, that doesn't mean it's not still a whites only bathroom. They gave
That's
two
like
niggas a
saying the
pass.
bathroom in my house is a black only bathroom because only black
People,
people use
Because only black people use it. You know, like it's only
but
black
people what
niggas
I'm
here.
saying
So
though.
I don't know about you white motherfuckers. Y'all can't
People
use
what
it.
I'm saying though. If you look at a company like Goldman, it's not likely you're getting hired with your black ass.
That is moving the goalposts. That's super moving the goalposts. We're not
I don't
talking about companies and things of that nature. If
Stay
we
with the
could
system.
build on and we could come to that, we could circle pit a pit and that we'll come back. But I'm saying, and I'm gonna stick on to the point, we don't know what it's like to drink out of a whites only water fountains, to go to some black only restaurants, black only toilets. We don't know nothing about that shit. So when it comes down to our prejudice and our racism, it's just straight the fuck up racism. And there is nothing that there is no like it's not 1965.
again.
Like, you can't
We
hide
haven't
behind nothing no more. Like,
we teach our babies to put their hands on the steering wheel when they get pulled over. To not nervous. White people don't teach their kids that shit. because it's two different realities. Because of the system of racism, we got to worry about getting shot. Ain't got to worry about that.
Um, the
Yeah,
conversation ain't about is the world racist. We know the world is racist. We talking about is we racist. When a black
I
man
was gonna
run
say,
past you, brother,
yeah, yeah.
when a black man run past you, brother, do you get scared?
Not at all.
You know,
Not at all. Because
I think
I
that we
personally
all
made it
we,
my to cross those lines with my brothers. Sometimes something as simple as a hand up. Now we got a slight bump. Again, to my point, racism and being racist, when you look at history, you get what I'm saying? You look at systems, apartheid, Jim Crow, thing going on down the street. These are big race. So yeah, it's gonna always come back to systematic.
brother, but we understand that, and I think we all understood that part. We know where it stems from. We're talking about individuals. And when she asked you, can you explain individual racism without using the word systematic, your first word was systematic. That's like when you go to people and you ask them, what is a woman without using the word woman, and they say it's a woman identifies as a woman. So, like, sometimes we got to take that word out. That's all she was asking you.
So
We get where it comes from,
back to
but
my
we're
point
talking
of it
about
all being systematic, right? Yes, someone can be racist if they can use a racist system. Other than that, all you can do is be prejudiced. All you can do is think my head snap. Can't stop me from doing nothing. Black people can't really stop other blacks from doing anything.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you think prejudice can incite hostility?
Racism,
No, I want to use his term. So when you hear someone being prejudiced, would that incite a little, and they're being a little extremely prejudiced towards
absolutely,
you? Would that incite a little hostility in you to
absolutely,
react? Huh?
absolutely,
So they're prejudiced because they're not racist. They just don't like you.
absolutely.
Because I'm thinking if somebody just don't like me and don't know me, I could care less. That's what I should do. But I'm going to call it racism because it's not just that you don't like me. You don't like people. They don't like people like me.
Hey, hang on. I
I
had
look.
I'm sorry, Paul. I'm
Go ahead.
sorry, Paul, to cut you off, but I just had someone in the comments hit me up directly saying we don't want to put white people in this conversation. So I'm about to send this guy a link right now, and we're gonna let a white guy get up here. Hope
oh.
Ooh, y'all about to be mad now.
Oh, this about to be good.
Let my white brother on in. We can take
Don't come up
This
here
is
and
about to
don't
be the
come on
best,
here
the
trying to be
best, the
buddy
best
buddy
show
with me.
ever. This is going to be great. Let him come on and welcome
John.
me to
John
this
Brown
chat.
is one of my favorite people in history. All white people ain't the same.
Yeah.
Out.
He's probably gonna try to come in here with that ally shit.
Shut up.
But here's the thing,
My
and
eyes
speaking,
be
and
for that.
this is where I started
Hallelujah.
earlier. Speaking as a biracial woman, right? Look, real talk. This is just my story. Speaking as a biracial woman, I face racism from my white side of the family as well as my black side of the family. My white side of the family are German, like Nazi German, not just German German. They're like Nazi German. And because I was the end baby, I don't even know half of my German family. Now, when my mother came over here and moved to Buffalo, New York, on the east side of Buffalo, New York, at that, where it's hood, we were
I need
not
this.
really accepted. They accepted me more or less because it was,
What
their
part of New York?
Buffalo.
Ew, I'm with
Yeah, yeah.
you. That's it.
So
With
now,
you. I'm on
now did
83.
they accept me? Of course, because I was just a baby. They knew that I didn't have nothing to do with this. But did they side eye my mama? Hell yeah, they did. Did they talk slick about my daddy? Hell yeah, they did. And before we go any further, like even when I met Billy, who I've been married to for 15 years, most of his family is dark. And I remember I overheard a conversation, and one of his aunts was like, "Well, why you can't bring a black girl home?" And Billy looked at her and said, "Well, she blacker than all y'all. Y'all just don't know it yet." But because of my light skin, they just presumed that I was white. Or I
Now again,
wasn't black. I wasn't dark enough. I should have been darker
back to my
for
original
them.
point though. What could they stop you from? You still
Hmm?
got that man. They couldn't even prevent you from getting that man.
Oh no, they weren't gonna do that.
Listen to what I'm saying though, right? So again, to
But
my
that's still
point,
no. But that's still a racist comment. That's not a prejudice. That is a disrespectful racist comment.
I
Can we
think
stop for a moment? Can we stop for a moment to welcome
Oh
Gary to
yes.
the
Welcome,
panel?
welcome, Gary.
Welcome,
Welcome, Gary, to
Gary.
the
Oh,
stage.
We would like to welcome you
Gary,
to
what
welcome.
up?
to more conversations with the average black man. Today, our topic is: can black people be racist? And be free and feel free
Yeah,
to say your thoughts with all due respect to YouTube, because we are on YouTube. So make sure y'all follow them guidelines. Don't be talking all crazy on here. That goes for the black people too.
okay,
He's
we can't hear
muted.
you, Gary. We can't
Gary,
hear you,
you
Gary.
Eric,
We can't hear you,
your audio.
Gary.
He not
before I
on
say
mute.
bam, are you more John Brown or DeSantis? Which one?
No,
The
well, let's
boy,
see if we can hear him first.
we gotta get it. No, your audio is still.
No, I say
Take
Your
your
bam.
headphones
audio's
out.
not there. The audio's not there, bro.
Come on,
He's
Gary, you gotta get together. Y'all got good technology too.
Go into your
See,
settings or something, Gary.
y'all got good take.
So
Well,
we got
y'all
good
is.
faith.
I ain't no
Ain't
sense.
no
Don't play.
way your the audio should be fucking up, messing up. Y'all can't hear me at all?
Okay, there
Oh,
you
now
go.
we
There
got
you go.
you.
Damn, Gary's
All
gone.
right.
Damn, Gary
I'm not
said.
DeSantis, I'm not none of that. I'm Trump. I'm pro-Trump 100%, and I've been Trump. But when he was in office the first time, and I never thought we should have had Joe Biden in the first place. I see these podcasts and stuff all the time, and I know I'm white, and I shouldn't speak on it. But I was raised by a black man. All I know is black people. All I know is black culture. That's all I've lived my whole entire life. So when y'all say white people, y'all be stereotyping the wrong white people, because I'm not one of them white people y'all stereotype, bruh. My sister's mixed, all my family's motherfucking mixed. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like it don't, that some
Well,
of that shit don't
Gary.
pertain to me. And it's a
Not
lot of white boys in Cincinnati, Ohio, that's a lot like me,
Oh,
that believe the
absolutely.
same thing. Like if
So
we had
listen,
a
Gary.
war, bruh, if it was civil, if we was out here fighting, my daughter is mixed. I'm gonna fight with the black people. I'm gonna fight against my own people. So y'all can't just speak on just certain white people, bruh. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. That's all.
Still,
That's what I want to hear. I want to hear this from black people. I want to hear what y'all got to say
peep
about
it,
that, bro.
Gary.
Because that's
Peep
true.
it,
We
Gary.
That's
can let
real shit.
Gary. I'm gonna
Yo,
unmute your mic.
I
But
want.
we want Gary to get his shit off. Like, goddamn.
I love
Go
black
ahead.
women. Like I don't
Say
know,
it.
like all white people. Y'all can't put all white people like that, bro. Like all white people ain't like that. It's a lot of white people that y'all probably fuck with, that live right next to y'all, that's grew up with y'all, that's went to school with y'all. Like it's certain white people, because we against them white people too, and we white. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm ready to kill motherfucking Bill Gates type
Mm-hmm.
shit. Like I would, if we had a purge, I would kill Bill Gates right now and Joe Biden. They would be dead. Kamala Harris would be dead. All them people would be dead, bro. They fucking us up as Americans, as people of this country, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I know a little bit about a black history. I know a little bit about a black culture. Like we didn't come over there on slavery and just come over there and abolish y'all's country and just take over y'all's continent, bro. We were sold to y'all by your own people. So you can't constantly just shit on us for racism. It was what was going on at the time, and it was everybody. It wasn't just us. It was the Chinese. It was the Mexicans. It was everybody. And like I just and growing up in Martin Luther King's culture and knowing things that
he had going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Ho-
just feel like he would be
Hold on,
fucked up
Gary, though, but
nowadays,
that's
bro.
not true, though. Everybody didn't participate in the slave trade for value. Everybody didn't come up off the slave trade. It was certain groups that really
That-
facilitated that. But hold on. Like I said, I was gonna say something first and ask you a question. First thing I said was I wanted to know who you were as the white dude I was talking to. Do you consider yourself more John Brown or DeSantis? I think most people understand the difference I'm making when I ask that, right? When I say that. But you said you're more Trump.
I'm gonna
Now,
tell you why I'm more Trump because if it's DeSantis or John Brown, I wouldn't vote for either one. I'm not going to the voting office.
here's
That's
the
why.
thing though.
That's the
Here's
question.
the thing. This is what you're
Question.
saying to me as a black man, Gary. Donald Trump sent 4 black boys, 1 Hispanic, right, to prison for a rape they didn't do. He spent his own money. When I talk about racism, he put an article in a white newspaper that we can't necessarily get approval to get edited, right? He literally put an article in the paper trying to put those boys to death. Since then, it's been exonerated, and one of them niggas is on the city council. We all
Yeah,
know
but
he was wrong. So when you tell me you support Trump, I gotta understand where you coming from, because this the funny shit, Gary. I support Trump too, but for a completely different reason. I'm a revolutionary. I want to tear this motherfucker to the ground, right?
right.
So when I look at the people in play, nobody was more ignorant. Nobody was more stupid. Nobody was going to expose racism more than the Donald. That's how you get January 6th, right? So me and
You're
you
right.
support the Donald for 2 different reasons. I didn't think he was going to save me. He wasn't going to do anything for me. The reason why I can fuck with the Donald is because I believe my people are sleeping giant. But while we got YouTube and while we got uh, earpods and everything, my people have become stagnant. They become comfortable and complacent. I believe my people can accomplish more once we get uncomfortable. And I said, who's better than that for that than a motherfucker that tried to sentence 5 black and Latino boys to death that were completely innocent. So I gotta understand when you say you support Trump, you
Yeah,
think
but
he's gonna make
who did he
America
give?
better?
Yeah, but who did he let out of jail at the same time though, bruh? Before who did he give clemency to before he went out of office, bruh?
Kodak
Lil
Black.
Wayne, Kodak Black,
Kodak Black.
Lil Wayne too, bruh.
A
Don't
nigga
forget
that
about
take
Wayne. Wayne got
perks,
caught with all them
a
charges
nigga that
too.
take
Hold on,
perks
wait. Let
and
him
is
Don't
let him
responsible for
forget,
respond.
bruh.
getting
Don't overtalk
innocent
him.
men killed.
Don't overtalk him. Let him respond.
Sorry,
Let him respond because he sat
y'all
there
go
and
ahead.
was quiet. So show that man the same decorum. Let him
Y'all go
respond.
ahead, bro. I'm listening. I'm listening.
Now listen,
And I've watched a lot of y'all's black leaders talk really good about Donald Trump and say the things that he's done over
listen what
years
I'm
ago.
saying. He freed
Like,
Kodak Black, a nigga that take perks and got innocent people killed. That's completely different for me as a black man from when you
right.
tried to sentence 5 black boys to death and cause them to spend their entire teen years in jail.
I kind of okay. I don't want to get too far off to the left, so I gotta ask Gary.
See, I don't know too much about that. I don't know too much about
Right,
that clipping
that's
though,
what I'm
bro.
saying,
Like, I
Gary.
don't know too
Hang on,
much
Gary.
about what went
It's
on
Hang
with
on,
them
Gary.
dudes.
Hang on,
54
Gary.
5,
Because
my
I don't want
nigga.
to.
It's
I don't
real
want us
easy
to
to
go too
find.
far off to the left. I don't want us to go too far off to the left, Gary. I gotta ask you the fundamental question. That's the topic of today's show. Can black people be racist?
Can y'all be racist? I
Well,
feel
let me
like
talk.
everybody in this world could be racist. I feel like y'all's just as racist as the white people that's not mutual in the middle with both of us that grew up
Now,
like both of
now
us.
let me ask you a
This
quick
is this
question.
is a culture thing, bro. It's not
Let
really
me
a
ask you a
racist
quick
thing.
question and be honest, Gary. Do you think I can prevent you from doing anything in life? Do you think I can stop you from getting a job? Do you think I can cause you to get pulled over? Do you think I can stop you from, through redlining, stop you from buying a house in a certain community? Do you think
Nah, but
my
let me
black
tell
ass
you
could do
what can
anything?
though, because you don't know certain white people. Let me
No, no,
tell you
no, no,
what
no.
can though.
It's
I've
not
been to
about
prison
all
3
white
times and
people.
I'm an
Hold
ex-dope
on.
fiend. They
Hold on,
don't
hold
fuck
on.
with
My
me at
question,
all, bruh.
My
might as
question,
well be
Gary,
black,
wasn't
bro.
about all
That's
white
what I'm
people.
saying. It's been like that my whole life, bro. Like,
No.
so when y'all say shit, it
Bruh.
bothers me. It hurts me, bro.
You're not
Because it's
understanding
like,
my
damn, I
question.
grew up right with y'all, like
My
just like
question was
y'all, like.
very, very simple, Gary. My question was very, very simple. You're not understanding my question. Because again, when I say to you, are you John Brown or DeSantis? John Brown is
Yeah,
one of
I didn't
my
get that question
favorite.
either.
Listen, hold on. I'm going to wrap it up real quick. John Brown is one of my favorite people in world history, right? So it's a
Right.
lot of white people that I love, would
I
die
feel that.
for, right? What I
That's real
asked
shit.
you, what I asked you was, do you think my black ass or anybody on this phone can cause you to get pulled over by the police, can cause you to prevent you from getting jobs? Do you think we can, through redlining, stop you from buying a home? Do you think any of us can prevent any of your goals?
Listen, hell to the yeah, bro. You American, bro. Hell yeah, you can. I'm not in the position of certain black people. It's a lot of black people that's in way better positions than me, and they can prevent me from doing certain things. Fuck yeah, bro.
That's
You
real.
serious right now? My GM right now can have me smoke. I ain't going to work tomorrow. She can have me smoke. She black.
That's
And
real.
that's at
That's
Arby's,
real.
bro. Like 100. Like
That's real.
it's not just for black people though. All people can do it, bro.
I
I
disagree.
just think what's fucked up about y'all is I think that everybody else can be segregated and have their own shit and get their own money, and y'all can't have y'all's own shit.
Let me
That's what
give
I
you
think's
let me give
fucked
you
up.
my perspective on it, Gary, right? I don't think Asian can be racist against me. They in the power structure of America can't stop me from doing nothing. They might prevent me from getting the 4 chicken wings and French fries that I want, but I can go to the next Chinese store right down the block. They
All
can't
Shit.
right,
prevent
Wall
me
Street.
from
I gotta
doing
ask you this
anything.
question, Wall
But
Street. I gotta ask
what
you a
about
question.
after this year, bro? You think that you think we ain't about to go through some shit this year? Some shit we ain't never went through?
We go
But
through shit
After
every
check,
after you
check this
see
out, though,
all the
Wall
shit that's
Street.
going on, like you think China ain't about to take this bitch over? We
Right.
owe them a lot of money,
Hang
bro.
on, hang
We in a
on.
lot
Check
of
this
debt
out,
with
though, Wall
China,
Street.
bro.
Check this out, Wall Street. After the Civil Rights Act pop, what can the powers that be stop you from doing right now?
a lot of things. Are you kidding
No,
me?
just give me one example.
I don't
No,
feel
give me
like
one.
black people
No,
or
well,
any
hang on.
Hold
American be
on, hold on. I'm
stopping
gonna
us
answer him
from.
I
real
need him to
quick.
give.
I'm
I
gonna
need to
answer
give
him
him. I
real
need him.
quick.
I need to give me an example.
I'm gonna
Just
answer
one.
him real
Just
quick.
one example.
If you believe that a black business can stop a white person from getting a job, right? Because they're only
That's
gonna
not
hire
what
the
I
white
asked you.
people,
That's not what
then
I
you've
asked you.
answered your own question.
That's not
Bro,
what I
it's
asked
some
you.
shit that y'all could do
That's
right
not
now
what I asked you.
nowadays,
But hang
bro,
on,
because
Gary.
of what y'all
He
went
didn't answer
through
my
that we
question.
can't do.
He didn't answer
So
my
you got to
question.
think about that too, bro.
I
I'm
think
still
white
waiting on
people
the
can
answer to my
prevent me from
question.
living.
Y'all, we don't
That's
have
not what I
white
asked you.
colleges. We don't have
Okay.
that shit.
Of
No,
course you do.
You gotta think about
Of
shit
course
like
you
that.
do.
And
It's
we
called
come
Hang,
from
Harvard.
hang,
poverty too.
It's called
hang
Google.
Bruh.
on, guys.
It's
Hang on,
called
guys. We
Y'all
gotta.
have
Yale.
all
Of
black
course you do.
colleges. That's fun. We gonna pay the government back.
Of course you have.
Okay, I hate to mute y'all like that, but go ahead, Miss Fields. We gotta be fair to everybody. Go ahead, Miss
okay, no,
Fields.
Hold on.
no, this is
Of course you have
no,
white
no, 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 no.
universities.
Hold on. No, it's my turn. No, it's my turn. Okay, thank you. I'm actually going off of Tim because I'm really curious for you to answer the very direct question that Tim asked you. After the civil rights movement, what is it that prevents you from doing anything that a white person, an Asian person can do? Now, let me be very fair in this. Yeah, you might have a little harder time doing it. You might have a higher interest rate, some bullshit along that line. But what can you not do that everybody else can do?
Good
Because
question,
I
my
have a
big sis.
house, we
Good
have
question, my
jobs.
big sis. Let me answer. And I'm gonna answer you very simply. Sean Bell, Amadou Diallo, George Floyd. I
No,
can go on.
you,
Hold on. You
you.
asked me a question,
What
I'm
can
answering.
you? No, what
I
can
could be any
you
one of
not
them.
do?
I could be
No, you
any
keep
one of them just trying
deflecting.
to drive to the store.
Sweetheart. You keep deflecting. What is it at this point in time that you
Mm-hmm.
cannot do due to the color of your skin in
Mm-hmm.
2024? That is what Tim asked you,
I
and
can't
that is the
grow up in
question I'd like for you
Calabasas.
to answer.
I can't grow up in Calabasas. I think because of stolen wealth.
I said the
Hold
same
on,
thing.
hear me
Yep.
out. You asked me a question. I think because of stolen wealth, there are kids that will grow up in Stanford, which is called the hedge fund conduit in Connecticut. I think there are kids that will grow up in the Hamptons. I think there are kids that will grow up in Calabasas because of racism. I don't give a fuck what they allowed me to do. How much they've stolen from my parents, it prevents me from doing a lot of things. So when you say that, you're pretending like we were ever on an equal playing field. We never were. And those things that were built off of racism have never been corrected.
Brother, but you keep this is my issue with you right now. You keep moving the goalposts as the picture shows. You keep blaming the system. You keep blaming what was done instead of saying, you know what, I understand what was done. I know what my ancestors went through. I know what my parents went through. And you know what? Yeah, was it fucked up? Yes, it was. But now these are the things that I have to do to make sure that me and my family don't go through it. I own a house. My husband and I own a house. We're married. We have 3 children. We live a magnificent life. We beat the odds. And I just told y'all, I was raised in Buffalo, New York, where I saw a dude get his face blown off selling dope out of a hot dog stand. But
You
I
know,
made the decision, hold on, I'm not done. I made the decision in my life to say, I'm not going to stay there. I'm going to do better than my parents and my ancestors, and I'm going to move forward. But you keep blaming this system and this white shit, and it's not always systematic racism that holds us back. It's our individual racism just in ourselves that we don't move forward. But
again,
you keep
I would
blaming the system.
I would say our individual prejudice. But to what you said, see, this is why I listen to people closely. And you can rewind this YouTube and hear what she said. You beat the odds, right? Most white kids living where you to grow up to be who you are, they're not beating the odds. They're actually failing, right? So this is why it always comes back to the system for me. You said you beat the odds. Yeah, we can all beat the odds. I believe in us. But that's not what the conversation about racism is about.
Okay, you're right. That's not what the conversation about racism is
Gary,
about.
you're on
But
mute, Gary.
that's what you keep bringing it back to is
Because
to
if
a
you're saying you beat
systematical
the odds, you're
blame.
acknowledging you didn't have a fair playing field.
I did not have I did not. So I joined the military. I went to work. I worked my ass off. And I said, when I have a husband and my children, I'm not going to be in that system. They're not going to hold me hostage. I don't want no Section 8. I don't want none of that because I don't want to be a project. I'm going to get out and I'm going to do what I got to do. And I'm going to raise my children to be the same damn
And
way.
you
But
beat
You
the
you
feel
keep
odds
me?
being
And I
half
misusing the
black.
respect it.
system.
Imagine being me. You
And
beat
I
and I
the
don't know.
odds
respect
being
it.
That's
half
what I'm
black.
asking you.
Shit, I'm white. I ain't beat the fucking odds. I'm still trying to beat them bitches.
Hey, yo, Gary, you want to know some funny shit I always say?
The fuck?
Every time, yo, Gary, this is some funny shit.
I'm
Every
still out
time
here
I see a
struggling in
homeless white
Ohio,
man,
baby.
every
Cleveland is
time
the
I see a
poverty.
homeless white man, Gary, I shed a
What
tear.
do you
Because I
mean?
think,
Like, I don't know what
what
you're
a
talking about.
waste of skin. If
High
I had
five,
Listen,
that
bro.
Gary. I
lifestyle,
like
Listen.
Gary.
I'd be a
Listen.
billionaire.
I
Listen,
like
my guy.
Gary.
I'm not homeless. I work 2 jobs and it still ain't enough to pay for my daughter,
You
bro.
get my
For
point,
my
though.
mixed daughter, bro. It's still not
You get
enough.
my
And
point.
it bothers me, bro.
You get my
Okay,
point, though.
hold on,
Of
wait.
what
Mr. The coach would like to say something. You gonna let the coach like chime in? Let's get it.
I do have a question, because the young lady, I guess what's her name? Who hurt you? Oh, no, Miss Fields. I guess that was you talking. I didn't see. She said something about just
Yeah, that's Miss
taking
Fields.
advantage of opportunities and beating those odds, right? She put herself and her and her family have put themselves in positions to where
That's
they
the
are.
odds is what she
resilience.
said.
That's
So
the
I asked her
resilience,
against it.
bro.
Okay, so I have a question for the guys, and I'm just trying to get a better understanding. I know that Gary did mention that he did serve some time within the penal
3
system.
times, bro. I got three penitentiary numbers.
Okay. So with that being said, were you just sent to that place 3 times, or was it based off your decision making at that time?
It was definitely based off my decision making. I didn't really wake up and learn certain things and not
Okay.
to touch the
So,
burner until I got older.
no, that's fine because I think sometimes, especially from what I've seen and experienced from people of color, we put ourselves into these positions by having poor decision making. And
Right.
then regardless of what the system, you can call it the prejudice that are against us or whatever, regardless of that happening, we still assume that we should be able to be in a better position that we could have been in prior to making those poor decisions.
Man,
So
he's right.
my understanding is, and this is where listen, I have a best friend, 3 felonies, 3 felonies. He got an escape charge on one of his records. Guess what? This dude has a master's degree. He ended up being the manager of the city that locked him up. So I have very little empathy for people who make excuses for that because, and listen, this is no digging nobody, because if you can overcome those situations, you should be, one, appreciative that you're able to overcome that and still be here. Now, for
100%.
me, is when people choose not to make a better decision once they get back out on this pavement, it's up to you as a man or a woman to say to yourself at that point, there is nothing more important to me if I have children than my children to not go down this path. There's nothing more
100%, man.
to do what I have to do to not put myself back in this situation. Now, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, people could go in, they can get the requirement skills that they need, and they can come out and they can do this dynamic thing and reinventing themselves. Today, we have another different kind of space because a lot of those programs are basically taken away. And state penitentiary is different from federal penitentiary. Hopefully, if you can go to federal penitentiary, you can get a little bit more resources within yourself. State is just a bunch of hooligans in there fucking being hooligans.
It is, man.
If you can put yourself in this dynamic to where you can start taking advantage of the resources that are here and don't take no for an answer, then you can overcome all of that despite. And the problem is most people choose to use that as a reason to not put in that fucking work. I'm 56 years old and I've had to work everything I had since I was 14. I grew up in a 2-parent home. Could my parents have gave me something better? Yeah, but everything that I inflicted on my life came from my own fucked up bullshit.
Can I ask you a question, fam? You was raised in a black neighborhood?
Say it again.
Were you raised in a black neighborhood?
Of course. I started out
the majority of your homies you grew up with doing as well as you.
If not better, because they didn't go to college and create that. They started working
because you can't necessarily define what was because for them. All I asked you was the majority
they doing right at or slightly above. Yes.
That's
it's
not
just
my
a
reality,
different time.
right?
But I'm just saying.
I've done very well in life for myself, right?
Wall Street, how old are you, Wall Street? Let me get your age first.
I'm 40 something.
In you early 40s or late 40s?
I'm 40 something, nigga. You ain't got to drill down.
Okay. Did you sell drugs?
Age is not that big deal, man. Like, knock it. No, come on, man. Be respectful to each other.
Did you sell drugs?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you were a detriment to the community that caused these problems. You created those dynamics for yourself.
Shit,
right?
Me too, bro. Me too.
But
Shit, I caused a lot of that too, then.
Despite that, you have to take opportunities when they present themselves.
Let me get in here.
Let
me get in here real quick. So I grew up in a black neighborhood. I'm from California. I'm 44 years old. I come from a generation where we were taught in school that black boys don't live past 16. And if you did live past 16 to 18, you were going to end up in prison. They taught us this in school, in public school. This is what they taught us. Now, So me being 44 automatically sets me against those odds automatically. But now that I'm a full grown adult and I go back and I talk to a lot of my younger homies and I ask them like, you got to gauge your reality because you can't blame everything on the system that's around you. There is no system that said, "Hey, this school today." Wasn't no system that said this school today. That was a decision that you made as an individual to not even try to even go through the through the motions to even graduate. That was, you know what I mean. So a lot of our reality we can't blame and say, oh, well, the white man this and the system is that. No, a lot of this is you made a decision that I'm finna go smoke weed, hang out in the corner, and drink beer. That was you decided that.
I
You
feel
did that.
that here's my response to that. The question then becomes why, right? Like the reason why I asked him, are most of his homies doing well as him? Because that's not normally the norm for black men like us. When I look at him, how successful I feel he is in life. If you came from a black community, that wasn't really the norm for us. So now we have to look at why. You understand what I'm saying? You're not being realistic if you don't look at crime statistics, if you don't look at the statistics from the census and everything else to realize young black boys are way more likely to get felony. See, the school to prison pipeline doesn't say once you graduate high school, you go to jail. No, what the school prison pipeline will do is it'll send you to an alternative school for shit it would give a white boy a pass. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about systematic shit.
Nah, bro, that's
So
not
you
true.
already
What?
set a little nigga on a path for failure.
That's not
The
true, bro.
beauty of modern racism is it's so subtle to the point now where we tell ourselves we have a problem. That's
I
the
think that's just
beauty of the
trying
white.
to make up shit where there is no shit there.
That's where the white man people see who I respect.
I don't know. I think maybe it has to come from like I think maybe y'all would have to like be white and live in like a neighborhood that's predominantly black and grow up like that to understand that we are not treated any different because of our skin color, bro.
Hey, check this out.
Nothing changes for
Not
us.
for
We
black
are
people.
low income. We are
Not for black
trash as
people.
fuck,
No.
just
Hey
like
Gary, check this
Gary,
out. This should rub
Gary,
you the bones.
wait
You're
a
the
minute,
new
wait a
nigga.
goddamn minute,
like
wait a
I
minute,
promise you, bro. I'm living it.
wait a
I'm
minute,
still
wait a minute,
I still
wait
live
a
in a
minute,
shit
Gary,
ass house. Like
Mr. Gary,
it's
Mr.
nothing
Gary,
good for me.
Mr. Gary, you would never, ever in your life be treated differently by black people. You're going to be treated the same. Now, we're not saying I don't think
100%. I could get from a black
no,
person before I could get from my own people.
I don't think if I had white
That's a
skin
fact.
that
Cause I'm not
that
like
white
them
people would
people.
treat me wait, pause though. I don't think if I had white skin that white people would treat me like I'm white. But this conversation isn't about how your people treat my people. It's about how my people treat other motherfuckers. That's what this show is about. We're not going to
Yeah.
change this conversation isn't about what is racism. What isn't racism? It ain't a
We
whole
go,
conversation.
See,
It's
but
about
once black
we
people
gonna get back
actually
to that,
listen to me
Morphine.
and talk to me, I ain't never experienced no
But look,
racism from
Gary,
black
this
people.
is my point. Gary,
So I
what you
don't
gotta
understand
realize
that.
is
You feel
you
me?
are not a reflection of the white community.
No, I'm
what
not,
you
bro. And I
mean?
You're
understand
a
that.
reflection of a black man and a white man in a black community. And we take care of that.
100%.
His picture, he does absolutely reflect white folks. He might not have the demeanor of a white
No, no, no,
person,
no,
but
no. He
his
understood what I
That's
said.
Yeah, but if it came down to
He
it, the white
understood what
people
I
don't
said,
know
and
that
he
they're gonna get
agreed with what
shot
I
by the
said.
white guy. They
Let me
don't
see.
know that.
Pause.
They
He
don't
understood
realize
what I
that.
said, and he agreed with what I said. He's
I,
not a
I,
reflection of the
I,
white
I,
community.
I do, bro, because I understand that y'all got the shitty end of the stick, bro. Sitting in a white body, I understand that y'all got the shitty end of the stick.
That's what I'm saying.
But
You more John Brown than you know. You gotta kick it.
I am, bro. I
You more
definitely
John
am.
Brown than you know.
I
Hold on,
definitely am.
Boss Chief. Been at the barbecue. He don't
But
need your
that's my
advice.
point. You're
I
not
But
putting
listen to
that
yourself
y'all
in
don't.
a
religious
right.
leaders and shit, Farrakhan and shit like I listen to people like that, like people that's smart, bro.
Can't talk together. We cannot. We can sing
I don't
together,
listen to
Carson
shit
Tucker
that,
but
out
we
here
that,
listening
that
cannot
to
talk
programs me
Farrakhan.
to
together.
be a slave.
You think Carson Tucker out here listening to Farrakhan?
Listen. I ain't that type of host. I ain't Timothy is. We could sing together, but we cannot talk together. Okay, that is not gonna work.
Oh, we got a
It's gonna
good
be a
bill
one
going.
at a.
Everybody arguing and
It's
bickering.
gonna be a one at a, brother. It's gonna be a one at a time type situation. And again,
Why are you
I'm
taking a
going to
shot at me?
encourage.
I just heard that. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna do this like, all right, listen, people have their opinions. Don't attack motherfuckers on their opinions. Let them have their opinions. You know what I mean?
Right. Now
And,
nobody
and here's
attacked.
another
I
and
think
here's
this a
another
good
thing. Look, pause, brother. Let me get it out. Let me get it out. And here's another thing. Facebook is flagging some of our content. So I said before we had this conversation, before I put Mr. Gary on here, to watch what you're saying and how you're saying it. Because they will flag us for this content. Now, back to the subject. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna say like hut in a minute, but stick on topic. The topic is, can black folk be racist? That's it.
Y'all can see that right there. Facebook is flagging us.
Already?
And
Yeah,
my
Facebook
original
Right.
is.
point was simple. When you look at racism, when you look at racists, they are a part of a system. Black
Oh,
people
Wall
have no
Street, stop.
system. Black people have no system that can prevent white people from doing anything. We can't affect their lives to the degree that the American system, which is based around whiteness, can affect ours. It's written into our Constitution.
So no, but that's why I asked you that question that I asked earlier. After the Civil Rights Act, what
Second
is
guessing.
it? What is it that you can you not get a job right now? Can you not buy a house right now? Can you not get credit right now? Can you not get a loan right now? Like what is it you can't do? What is the system stopping you
I
from doing?
can't I can't jump out of my car when I get pulled over and scream at a white cop. I can't do that. I'm likely to die. See
White folks die doing
the
that.
the beauty of modern racism,
Brother got a
the
point.
beauty of modern racism is it's so subtle that now we've gotten to the point where we blame ourselves.
Why are you talking about jump? Hold on. Let me ask this. Because you keep avoiding the question. Tim asked you the question, then I asked you the question, and then Tim asked you the
Answer the
same question
question.
again. Hold on. And then Tim asked you the same question again. And your comeback was really, I can't jump out of a car when the police pull me over and run
Right.
away because I
A
might get
very
shot.
simple, a
Why
very
are you
simple
jumping out the
question
car and running
warrants a
from the
very simple
police?
answer.
Man, y'all gotta listen to Candace Owens and y'all gotta listen to Morgan Freeman, bro. I'm telling y'all, bro, would
A
cure
very simple
everything.
question warrants a very simple answer.
But you don't give a simple answer.
That was a
We
very
asked you
simple
a
answer.
straightforward question.
I have
Hold
Instagram.
on. In this day and age, in 2024, can you buy a house? Can you get a job? Can you get a loan? Can you
Hell
walk into
yeah.
Dollar General or Walmart and go shopping? Yes, you can.
Can
So
you
what is
own a
the
business? Can
systematic
you own part of
racism
the
that you
NFL?
Hey,
continue to
Hell
hey,
talk
yeah.
about?
see, this is he's
Can you
giving
be
me
a
the
Name
same.
president?
name
Hang
Hell
me
on,
yeah,
hang
you
on,
one black
can.
NFL GM.
hang on.
Name
He's
me
giving
one
me
black NFL GM. Name me
he's
Bro,
one.
giving me
Jay-Z
he
owns a percentage of the
He
hold
don't
on,
own
NFL.
hold
shit.
on,
That's
hold
That
on.
nigga
enough.
own
Like I said, we can dance.
0.222%.
We
That
can
dude
Jay
dance
Z
runs.
together, but
owned
we can't
nothing.
yell over each other.
That
Hold
dude
on, we
runs
can't.
all
Hold
the
on.
motherfucking
Jay Z
halftime
owned
We
shows.
can't yell over
nothing.
each other. We can't yell over
What
each
other
other.
black dude does anything
We we
close to that?
we can't yell
None.
over each
Y'all
other,
are
people.
definitely making
This is
None.
the
progress.
thing. This is
That's
the
my
thing,
A
point.
though.
lot of
If
progress.
you
Y'all
have
done
This
been
is,
any form
president.
of a record
look.
deal,
I'm gonna
right?
start muting people. I'm gonna start muting people. I don't want to be like that. I want to start muting
My
people.
fault,
All
God.
right.
But hold on, let me make a quick point, right? If you have any type of a record deal,
You
there's
don't
not
got
a
to. I am.
single white or Jewish artist that is paying a black man. Not
Right.
one.
Okay.
There
Okay.
is
So the
not
reason
one black GM in the NFL or the NBA. Not one.
Yes, it is, brother.
there
Who?
is, but this
Who?
is the thing about it. This is the thing about
Please
it, though.
name them
See,
for me.
the reason I asked
Wait,
that,
wait a
the
minute. Stop
reason
talking.
I asked, the reason I asked that very deliberate question,
Right.
because it's similar to the very deliberate question I asked when we have shows about feminism. I asked feminist women, what is it in America that I can do as a man simply because I am a man that you can't do because you're a woman?
Mhm.
And they have the same response. They get to moving the goalposts, they get the shucking and jiving. And the reason
But
they
I didn't
do
do
that is
that. I
because
drive
you
every
did.
direction.
You shucked and jived.
Mhm.
Listen,
because
I have
because there is
Instagram.
nothing,
You
there
may
is
not,
no.
right?
I
Listen,
have
I have
Instagram,
Instagram. You may
but
not.
this is the thing.
There
This is
are
the thing.
videos
Let
of
him
white
finish.
men getting
This is
out
the
their
thing.
car
This is
and
the thing,
yelling
bro.
in the
I
face
don't
of police. I
that
can't
is
do that. I'll get
that
murdered.
that is a privilege. I will agree that in some instances there is a privilege,
That
but
was my answer.
the thing about it is that that does not stop you from being what's the word I'm looking for,
Productive
a citizen of
citizen.
society. You can buy a house, you can
Right.
work, you
Right.
can all of that. You can get a loan, all of that. There's nothing in place that prevents you from doing that. The
That's two
issue that
different
I see that a
approaches.
lot of people have is that they hold on to this mindset of is this system is against me, and not understanding that, because what Jess made a good point earlier. She says, yes, it may be more difficult to do certain things. You may get a higher interest rate as opposed to
She's got to
somebody
beat
else or
the
something like that.
yards. Right.
But right, but the fact of the matter is that you still can achieve said goal. It may be a little difficult for you. You may have to run an extra mile. You might have to jump a little extra higher, but the opportunity is still there.
That's not the argument. The argument is a fair playing field. I shouldn't have to jump higher to compete with the same person who has the same qualification skills as me. I shouldn't have to consider that I beat the odds by just
Oh,
being able to get home. We have this ingrained in us. We
And
know
We
what it
have
is.
this ingrained in us.
can I respond to him?
yes, let
Go
Paul
ahead.
Can I
respond.
respond to
Yes,
what?
Go
let
ahead.
Paul
By all
respond.
means,
Okay.
by all means.
I'm gonna try to be as short as possible, but the rest of them know me. Well, Tim, Morphine, and Jessica know me. I work at a restaurant, and I'm not gonna say the name of the place. Um, and now I'm working a second job. But back to the restaurant I started at. When I first started, it was multicultural. It was Guatemalans, Mexicans, whites, blacks. Uh, within the last, I've been there 2 years. Within the past year, we have more Guatemalans and only my black ass, my black butt, one white lady, and one white guy, and a black chick. Everybody else on that line is Guatemalan or Honduran. Honduran. And the Hondurans don't exactly get along with the Guatemalans. But I said all that to say this. Yes, I have to work twice as hard as anybody else on that line just to be recognized, just to get a chance to maybe train somewhere else or to advance. You know why? Because that man who runs that kitchen is looking out for his own. This is
Those are
where we
his
talk
people.
about this is where we talk about the systematic racism that you like to talk about. So I'm gonna talk about it since that's what you love to talk about. Now, some people say, "Well, Paul, why would you stay there? Or why don't you go to HR and this, that, and the third?" I feel like I don't really have to do any of that. I'm going to show them. I'm going to do this and show you I can do it. And then I'm going to fall back a little bit to show you that I know my worth and I know you know my worth. So, yes, I have to work hard. So, when they finally decide to recognize me and give me a raise, it's not just the basic raise they give everybody else. You got to give me just a little bit more now because I'm gonna ask for a little bit more. So yes, you have
Because
to
I need
work.
this now.
I understand what that means. And now, is it
I
fair?
need this.
No, it's not fair. But that is life, bro. That's life.
Peep
Even
this,
if
Paul.
even if you take race out of it, hold on, young man. Even if you take race out of it, you may have to compete against your own brother working for another brother. He ain't gonna give you the money or the raise just because you his brother and you black. You're gonna have to show some exceptional skill about yourself.
Peep this,
You're
Paul.
gonna have to
When I
show
got
that you
hired,
hold on. I almost landed, bro. When you can show that you are deserving of a raise or a position, you have to apply yourself. You got to apply
Absolutely.
yourself. And if you apply yourself to the point where you're just like tired and you don't, then you move on. Maybe even start your own. But I can't stay at that company and keep complaining and crying about it. I stopped crying about it, but I don't mind telling people what I went through to get where I'm at in that
so
restaurant.
peep this, Paul. I'm with you. So one thing I don't want to get confused is that I'm ever coming across as we can't accomplish. But let me explain something to you. One of my first major positions, right? The good Jew that hired me, that taught me everything I know about my business. He said, all right, the first thing you're going to have to do is work on the way you speak because no one's going to trust the presentation from Tyrone on the corner, right? Now, to your point, I had to internalize it. I was mad. I was bothered at first, but then I said to myself, I want to win in this arena. He's right. But the fact that he's right doesn't make it okay. The fact that he's right and the fact that I can overcome it doesn't mean that it's not designed to work against me. And that's the definition of racism.
Okay, hold on. I
We
want to
were
make sure I
just
understand that correct. Hang on, Paul. I want to make sure I understand this correct. So you being told that it is not conducive to you to speak in a certain manner when operating in a professional setting is racist because they want you to talk white. Like why is speaking properly? So I'm from California. I talk like a surfer dude. So that
Now
I'm talking white.
I'm ready to answer. So here's the thing. I dealt with black clients down the line where I was able to be completely 100 myself, right? What he told me was to be successful in this system, you have to be a certain way and you can't be you. That's not always the case because every once in a while, someone like Sis said beats the odds. So he's a client worth me having, right? But the reality was, I was told I can't be me.
Okay, real quick.
It's about a hunky something white boy. It's about a
Hold on.
hunky something.
Let just get in. Let just get in.
Yeah.
Real quick. And this is not to move the focus. Um, but just like he said, like Paul knows me, Keish knows me, Tim knows me. I used to be a store manager at AutoZone, right? And AutoZone is a male dominant industry. So guess what I had to do? I had to outshine 4 times my counterparts because they didn't think that the little woman could run an AutoZone. She don't know nothing about cars. She don't know how to run a business. And I only say that because it's kind of the same aspect of what you're talking about, where you know sometimes we just have to work a little harder to attain what it is that we want to achieve. And you saying what your boss said to you. I had a guy. I ain't gonna say his name because we're on YouTube. I know it's on YouTube and stuff. I had this man. I loved him so much, but he was like hood, like he was hood. But yo, he was a great worker. And one day I heard him with a customer, and I had to pull him to the side. I said, "Hey, such and such. I know, this is who you are." I said, but sometimes you gotta tone it down a little bit. It's because you're in customer service and you never know who's watching. You're not gonna be able to talk to
Mm-hmm.
one person the same way that you talk to another person. And I want to see you succeed. I'm not telling you this because I don't want you to be yourself. When they walk out the door and we all up in here, you can say what you want to say. But when you're dealing with the customers, I need you to be a little bit more articulate, and I need you to leave some of the words that you use out of your
Right.
conversation. And that's not saying it like that they don't want you to be you, but they just
Right.
know what it takes to run a business.
Now here's the
Right.
thing. It's
Wall
not like
Street.
I
Let me ask
went
you a
into
question
that.
real quick.
It's it's not like I went into that interview grabbing my dick, talking crazy. No, what he told me, I have to. What he was basically saying was, I have to enunciate. I have to speak like I'm
Yeah.
from a certain. I mastered it. I speak very, very. I had to go from when my peoples asked me, "How are you?" I'm good. I had to go to, "I'm doing well." Right? That's not
Right.
naturally
Let me
where
let me ask you this question real quick, Wall Street. Do you play
I say
video
I'm
games?
good at you.
Hold on, hold wait. Wall Street, do you play video games by chance? Just just real quick. It seems
all day, nigga,
arbitrary. All
pop out
right.
on COD. Come
All
see
right.
me.
So check this out. There are some games that are E for everybody, right? So what your boss told you to do in that instance is you need to be E for everybody. You need to be in a position to where we can sell you as a product to everybody. So that way we're going to come out with the highest profit. Because at the end of the day, your job is to make money. So if you are conducting yourself in as info mature and you're supposed to be E for everybody, not everyone's gonna take liking to how you getting down. So
Here's
you
where
have to put, you see what I'm saying? So you have to
here's
put
where I
yourself in a
disagree.
position.
Because to your point, I think he was telling me I had to be E for everyone whose money we were chasing, right? And those
Oh,
people come from historic wealth. It's not us, right? I had to be E for everyone I'm trying to sell myself to. But I'm not selling myself to my own because my own don't have. When I go in those meetings, 9 times out of 10, I'm sitting across the table from 4 or 5 white guys. It's a fact. So I understood what he taught me and I mastered it. Now I'm doing very, very well. If someone
Okay,
asks,
let's welcome Maurice to the stage too.
What's going on, people?
welcome,
I
Maurice. How
stopped
you
in for a little
doing,
bit.
sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I missed a good chunk of this conversation, but I definitely wanted to
and
chime
that's the
in a
main
little
thing.
bit.
Like, I don't want it to be like I'm making excuses for our people for failure. That's not what I'm doing. I know. So to get back to the topic of us being racist against us, I know we can be our biggest problem a lot of the time. That doesn't negate the issues that we face. That doesn't change the fact that out of the 14, 15 niggas that I grew up, who I call my brothers, 7 or 8 of them got a felony before we even got out of high school. That doesn't negate that. That doesn't negate the story of Khalid Browder. How you can be
Okay.
completely innocent and end up with a felony that ruins your life.
Gary wanted to say, Gary, what
Grow
did you
up.
say? Would you say, Gary? Say that one more time.
I said we're put into environments like that, and that's how we grow up, bruh. That's just what happens, bro. That's how we're programmed. That's how they program us, bro. Like
I
like
agree with
like
you,
Andrew Tate
Gary.
said, if you see two rich dudes pulling up back in the 1800s, they're both rich. One's black, one's white. They both got yachts. You think they give a fuck about what color they are?
So
No,
Gary, let's
bro.
build,
It's
right?
programmed
Why?
off of poverty, bro.
So look, Gary, let's build, right?
We gonna split these plums or what, bro? I grew up right
Hold
next
on,
to you.
listen,
I'm
Gary,
white.
let's build, right? Where I am in
Come on,
life,
bro.
financially, it benefits me to vote for the Donald. when I drive through Kentucky, when I drive through St. Louis, I'm doing better than most of them white people, right?
Right.
My question is for the masses of you that aren't doing as well as your white peers, right? What
Right.
benefit is it for you to vote for the Donald?
The
What?
reason
All
I
right.
would vote for the listen,
No,
let me tell you
no,
why I would vote for the Donald. Let
no,
me tell you
no,
on some
no,
legitimate shit.
no, no, no.
Let him answer
Hell
real quick.
no, no,
No,
no,
it's gonna be a
no,
good
Let him
answer,
answer.
Morphine. I
no,
promise.
no, no, no. You're not answering that.
All
And
right,
you're
go
not
ahead.
going
Go
to
ahead.
ask them that.
Go ahead.
Because
Go ahead.
we're
Go
not
ahead. Go
doing
ahead.
that.
Why not?
No.
It's a
Because
good
Because
you're
that's
bill.
on
not what the topic
YouTube,
We
bro.
is.
not arguing.
Because
Wait,
Gary
no.
is
because the
my man.
United States is a business,
Gary
and
is my
Donald
man. We
Trump's
not
and Donald
arguing. We
Trump's
building.
dad have been
Oh
the
my
best
God.
at running businesses. That's why.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
We
And
not
listen,
arguing. We
listen,
building.
listen,
Me
y'all.
and Gary not arguing.
I'm not saying y'all are. That's not the point. Y'all
We're
missing
gonna
my
have to stay
point.
on topic. I'm not. I hate to mute people, but we got to stay on topic, people. Please.
All
No,
right. So to
listen.
stay on topic.
No,
So to stay
pause,
on
pause.
topic on
I ain't
black
finished.
people.
No, I ain't finished. Listen, when we get on, one day we're going to do a topic. We could talk about political things. And I promise you, I won't put this shit on Facebook. So we can have an open topic about this without being super censored. But we just showed y'all we are getting super censored. So no, Wall Street, you cannot ask him that shit right now.
You can't talk about politics.
Not right now.
No, it was a good time.
No,
All right.
no, it's not a good time because
They
we
voting
already said
tomorrow. Like,
we're
but
already
I
you
felt
know,
like it
emotional
was a
in the
good bill.
algorithm.
Me and Gary wasn't
I
arguing.
get it. I'm not saying it, but brother, you got to hear what I'm saying. You hear
I
me?
can tell
Like
by
hear what
Gary
I'm saying.
lineup he's a good brother.
It's not about y'all too. It's not. It's about what y'all talking about in the algorithm we already placed ourselves in.
All
So
right.
y'all can't talk about that right now. But I'm going to place us one day in the algorithm where we could talk about this shit. Okay?
Well, let's get back to the point. So
The
just to
point is,
reinforce what I
if
said,
can we
in
no
order
no
to be
hold on.
racist,
Wait, because we heard from y'all too. This is Maurice on here. Let me get to Maurice, and I'm a good person. I'm a good narrator. I'm gonna get back to you, brother. I swear to goodness, I'm gonna get back to you. But I want to shift the mic to Maurice so I could at least change my algorithm a little bit. Just bear with me. All right, Maurice.
Yes,
What are
ma'am.
your
Yes,
thoughts
ma'am.
on
It's hot in here, man. It's
on
hot.
black people being racist? Is do you see whether it's systematic or not? Because Black Wall Street over here is systematic with his ish. So whether you believe or not, we're not arguing over opinions. What is your opinion on can black people be racist?
I guess to flat out answer the question, I say absolutely. Black people can be
see,
racist.
the office style.
Um,
See?
I I don't. Damn, it's getting hit. All right. Yeah, that's
hmm
clear. That's clear. But
So
yeah,
can we
yeah,
turn
black
the
people can be
algorithm back
racist.
up? Because niggas is linking up to watch us. I ain't mean to say the
Yeah,
N
so
word. I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you now.
yeah, so like I said, black people definitely can be racist. I think, um,
But
especially
back to my original point, to be
damn,
racist, you have to
hello, gentlemen.
benefit from a system of racism.
Stop letting
Chief,
him interrupt that man. Mute him.
He was already talking. He was already talking. Let him
I
finish.
mean, it was
Maurice
silent for a
talking.
minute, but I'll stop.
No, he was talking. You might have not heard
Every
him, but
time
he was
don't you
talking.
keep running your mouth.
Africans come to this country, they tell their kids and their families, don't deal with those American blacks. I
Man,
Oh my
consider
god.
that
me that can talk.
mute this dude every time he open his mouth. Just keep hitting mute.
No, I don't. I'm not doing
all
that.
right, I'll be quiet.
Like I told you, we'll get back to you. Let Maurice get his point out. He's a new panelist.
It was
Let him get
fine.
it out. And we'll get back to you. And for you, Mr. Wall Street, please, by all means, brother, watch what you saying.
Right, I'm gonna work on it.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Go ahead, Maurice. Go ahead, God.
Go ahead, Maurice.
Appreciate you, Wall Street. Appreciate you. Yeah, like I was saying, black people definitely can be racist. I think they've gotten this like new definition out here, and Wall Street started saying some of it, which I absolutely wholeheartedly, completely disagree with. Racism has nothing to do with power or a system of any sort. I think individuals can be racist. Individuals need to be or can be entitled that. To name a whole entire system, people forget entire systems are made of individuals. So you can have the perfect system. If it's full of racists, it's going to be corrupt. It's going to be a racist system. So the reality is racism or being a racist is something individual, and it has nothing to do with what actual race you are. I mean, that's essentially my my 2 cents on that, I should say.
Now, can I read the definition of racism real quick?
That definition is bogus.
The
Now,
same definition
I
you
was
didn't
saying
want
a
to use
lot of the definitions in the dictionary.
earlier.
I
Are you
wouldn't
trying to use
disagree with
the
that.
same definition that you did not want to use earlier?
No, I said I
Bro,
didn't
we come from a
agree with
black
all
woman.
definitions.
We all come from a black woman, bro. So when y'all be like y'all's ancestors, bro, it's we come from y'all. We're y'all's ancestors, bro. Like we're the same, bro.
Yo,
Like
fam,
so when y'all be saying that shit, we all come from a black woman, bro.
I
Like
come from Africa.
you mean my ancestors that didn't know they were black before they were white? You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're recycled. I believe we're recycled. This is a machine of
Listen
recycled
to what I'm
souls,
saying.
bro.
No
That's
different
what I
from
believe,
NATO,
bro.
no different from the Ukraine and Russia. I come from Africa. All Africans aren't my people.
We all come from a black woman. I don't give a fuck if you're white. I
But
don't
we're
give a
not the
fuck
same.
if you're whatever you are. We all come from a black woman. So all of our ancestors are the same. That's contradictory, bro. And that's the truth. That
We
is a
know
fact.
all of our ancestors are the same, but we don't all have the same goals because we became different people. If
We
you look at
all came from a
Africa,
black
hold on.
woman.
If you
Period.
look at Africa
Period.
alone, if you look at
Period.
Africa alone, those aren't the same people. Because if they were, a Hutu wouldn't cut the arm off of a Tutsi. You wouldn't
We
have the things going on in Liberia that you have going on. They're
and
not
if it
even all one.
wasn't and if it and it's all
If you look
programmed.
at
So if it
NATO,
wasn't all programmed, then we would know not to. Why do we automatically know not to kill our mom or kill
listen,
our brother or fuck our families, our own families? Why do we automatically
listen to my point though,
instinctually know
Gary.
that then, bro?
Listen to my point though, Gary.
That don't
Right?
make sense to me.
Or listen, Gary,
We all come
everything
from
you
a black
saying,
woman, bro.
listen, Gary, everything you saying, I agree with in the perfect world. I live in the real world, right? So even in the white community,
I'm
Russians
full
and
white and I know that.
Ukrainians
I
are
know I come
not
from a black
one
woman
people.
somewhere down the line. I
Listen what
know
I'm
that.
saying, Gary. Listen what I'm saying. Even in the real world, Russians and Ukrainians aren't the same people. So you can't
But
expect
can
me.
black
So that
people be
means that racism was
what?
programmed. So that
I'm not
means that we
disagreeing
need to
with that.
take control of it and we need to come together as a fucking human and as a people, then,
All right,
right? That
man.
means that
I,
it's
Or
yo,
programmed,
Gary,
then,
you
right?
my homie, Gary. I
It's not
ain't,
instinctual, it's programmed, right?
I'm not
Correct?
disagreeing with you at all.
It's not like we can't get on the same page because we don't bleed the same or we don't walk the same. We don't all got dicks and pussies.
I can
You
tell
know what
you
I'm
why we
saying?
can't get on the same page.
We can. We can.
I'm
It's
gonna
just
tell you why we
there's a
can't.
line and we need to be able to break that bitch. That's
I'm gonna
all, bro.
tell you why most black people can never get in line with MAGA. I'm gonna tell you why we can't be the same people. Because we all have
We
different
all gonna be the
goals.
same race eventually, cause
Listen,
cause white and black people don't make white babies, bro.
we getting two in the woods.
It's coming. It's coming.
We getting two in the woods, Gary. Let's keep it simple, right?
I'm just
I
saying.
let's talk
Listen,
about that, huh? That
I
that
I'm,
that
I'm,
hit
I'm
the
disagree.
I,
note.
hey,
That
I'm a
hit
little
the note
intriguing though, ain't I, to be white, huh?
Mr.
A
Black
little
I
Culture is
intriguing, ain't I? Y'all
okay.
motherfuckers
listen,
like, damn,
listen.
white motherfucker know some shit, huh?
I could argue and say 2 generations of procreation can prove you wrong, right? If you look at Mahomes' kid, ain't nothing about them babies black.
Yeah,
Nothing.
bro.
I don't
But
give
I'm
a fuck
saying
who they daddy is. I'm
y'all
sorry.
ain't going
No,
nowhere. Y'all's
no,
a
I ain't mean to
no,
dominant
curse.
no.
I'm
race.
sorry.
I,
Y'all's a dominant race. Y'all ain't going nowhere.
I ain't mean to curse.
Hot.
Sorry.
If
But
you
what
do
I'm
a
saying,
DNA test on that little girl, I don't care
We
if you
are
got
one. White
blonde
people
hair,
are one
blue eyes.
race.
Her
listen,
DNA is
listen,
still going to have black
listen.
in it.
The world is now
White
a
people are white
tribal
people. We're the ones gonna be
society.
missing soon.
The world has
Hold
been a
on, what else?
tribal society for
Let me know when
centuries.
it's my
He
turn.
said,
So while I may
Bro, we
not
gonna all be
disagree
one
with
color
you,
pretty soon, bro.
while I may not
Same
disagree
soul.
with,
I keep telling y'all too, we cannot all talk together. We can sing together, baby, but we can't
while I
talk
may
together.
not disagree with you that we all came from the primordial
Man,
black woman, the reality is we live in 2024 where white people are fighting other white. So
All right.
everything
Pause there.
is in my ally.
Pause. You gotta have a
They're not
pause
all
button.
my people.
You and Gary gotta have a pause button. He's still
Yeah.
talking. You the only one that's off of mute. So, Miss Stills, can you keep going?
Okay,
Can
thank
can
you.
you go? Can you say? Thank you, baby. Go ahead.
Now, I'm gonna put the camera close to my face, right. Like my daddy was black, right, and my mama was white,
Yeah, Miss
right.
Light Skin. Come on, Light Skin.
Oh Lord, look at that, look at
Look at
that.
them, look at them black nostrils. Yes.
Look at that bright skin. But you know
Look at
what?
the black.
I'm still a nigga.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that.
And
Proud.
my daddy taught me that. My daddy taught me that a long time ago. I don't care how light you. I got a best friend. Her mother is white and her daddy is black. She looked like Nia Long. My ass over here looking like Ellen DeGeneres, right? So us biracial people, we come out all kinds of ways. So Gary actually got a point. Y'all better start watching out because we come out in all different shades and all different colors. But at the
Right,
end of the day, we are
bruh.
still niggas.
Y'all's considered black, bro.
Have
If
you ever heard
another
of the
country
name
come over
Dodge?
here, you black, you ain't white. You don't
Mm.
look white. You know what I'm saying? You black. But that don't
Now,
mean that it ain't a lot of white people that love black people and love humans. Period. That ain't gonna
Have you
fight with
ever
y'all,
heard of the
bro.
author E.
now here's
Dodge?
the thing. Hold on. Here's the thing.
We need to
Now
do
let's
that
say
and go ahead and
I
get
always
all the racism about the way. Then
I
we need
always
to.
use this as I use this as an example all the time. If I'm driving in my car and let's say a dark skinned person, we're both doing the same speed, right? I might not be pulled over because of racial profiling, right? Because from a distance, what would they think? They were
Go
like,
ahead and make my point for me, sis. Go ahead.
okay, but the black person may. But here's the thing. No, this is the point that I'm making to you. But let's say I do get pulled over. As soon as I open my mouth and start talking, they're like, oh no, wait, no, you're not one of us. We thought you was. No, take this ticket. We'll see you on March 22nd at court. Pay these court cards and pay this ticket. So again, don't let that fool you. We are all still niggas. And I only bring that up because y'all brought up Patrick Mahomes' kid. And I know that baby look white as hell, but that's a nigga baby.
Have
Sorry.
you ever heard of the author?
100%.
Have you ever heard of the author E. Dodge?
I have not.
All right, E. Dodge wrote.
Who is this talking? Wall Street.
You know it. E.
Okay.
Dodge wrote a very comprehensive paper called "The Mulatto Problem." Right. I'm
Mm.
not even gonna dive into. I would just challenge you to check it out. Right. But the reality is that's not the conversation that's being had when it comes to racism. You get what I'm saying? Mulatto people are not dealing with the same racism that
What?
people who are classified as black are dealing with. When you look at those babies that are dying, they don't look
Oh,
like Mahomes kids. They look like Trayvon Martin. They look like what's the little nigga that had the gun? The toy gun. They look like
Tamir
me.
Rice.
Tamir
Tamir
Rice.
Rice, right? You can't give me a baby that looks like Mahomes had that baby with a white one.
Hold on. So hold on. No, before you go forward, I want to make something very clear. So you're saying that biracial people do not face the same racism that black people do? Is that what you're
That's
telling
not what
me?
I'm saying.
Because I can tell you that a lot of us, maybe not all of us, we face it from both sides of our family.
That's not what I'm saying.
Well, clarify because that's what I heard.
I'm not
You pretty
saying
much were saying that that we don't face racism the way that y'all do, but half of my
I am
sisters
saying.
don't like me
That I
because
am
I'm
saying.
too light skinned. The dudes like me because I'm light skinned. The white folks don't like me because I'm a nigga baby. So like I got racism from both sides. At least y'all only get it from one damn side. I had to get it from both.
Listen, that I am saying no. I am saying it's not the same. That I am saying. I'm not saying that you can't go through your own individual spurts of being discriminated against, going through racism. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is the historical structure of things isn't designed against you. You're not dealing with the same racism my babies was dealing with. You're not.
You know, talking out the side of your
That's what
neck
I'm
right
saying.
because everybody, no, bro, you said enough because everybody knows that when Massa was messing around with them kids, some of them kids wound up in the house and even mistreated, and some of those children were what do you call still sold off. There was always a racism, and if you go down and do the Louisiana thing, they're called mulattoes and quadroons and all that other shit, and you call them pink toes and all kind of shit. So hold on, bro. Hold on. No, because you always do this. You do this all the time. Anytime somebody get to
No,
talking,
you
you
making
want to
my
jump
point.
in.
Go ahead.
I need you to
You
sit
making my
down.
point.
I'm gonna make my point. Stop jumping in. Jump in. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just saying anything that feels good and sounds good to you in your pro straight Pan African attitude. Cut the crap, bro. Like our people, no matter what color, what shade, all face a racist dynamic or attitude from somebody. And sometimes we are very racist towards each other. I remember a
Bro,
time when nobody liked the dark skinned one. That black ass, look at her black butt. When they were lights, Tim and the elder and Tim and you don't understand that time where the dark skinned guy was the ugly guy. All everybody wanted was the light skinned dude. You've heard
but
them say light is in now.
that's not
So
what
we
you
have
just
been
said.
racist. I'm saying we have always been racist.
What
And
you
light
said
skinned people,
hold up, real quick,
you would like to call it,
real quick. What
have
you
in
said was the light skinned people were taken
racism.
in the home.
I said some
Hey,
of them were, if you go into Louisiana history, been even put into their own little communities and things of that nature. They weren't treated very well, even though they were in the house, they weren't treated well. So just because a motherfucker was in the house, don't mean that they ate the best food because they ate the crumbs too.
That's not what I'm
You
saying.
think because they was in the house they
bruh,
was treated better?
you're Black
No, that's
American.
not what I'm saying. What I'm
Get the fuck
saying
out of here.
is
Niggas don't even
there
fuck
are
with y'all.
different. I'm saying there are different degrees of racism. So to your point, the light skinned people that were taken in the house, they dealt with their own set of racism, but it wasn't the same as the field, nigga.
Man, do y'all know that black people used to be slave owners to their own people, had their own
That's another
plantations and
lie.
everything in the same day of
That's another
slavery?
lie.
That is
That's
not
another
a
Didn't
lie.
have
fucking
a list of
lie.
house nigga, field nigga conversation.
Bro,
Can
you
we
ain't
agree?
never seen
What's really happening
Django?
is house
That's a
nigga,
fact.
field nigga conversation.
There was a bunch of black people that own their own black people in their own plantations. That is a fact, bro.
Look, I like to use facts. Just
How do
because
you not
William
know your
Ellison,
own history?
listen, just because William Ellison Jr. owned slaves
He is
doesn't
not the only
mean,
one.
listen to my point, because
There
I'm
was
giving you
like
the name.
3,000 of them,
Listen,
bro.
listen to my point, because I'm giving you the name that you probably gonna do with me, right? To let you know, I understand the point you're trying to make. But just because William Ellison Jr. owned slaves doesn't mean that black people owned slaves.
I
Doesn't
just
mean that it wasn't specifically designed to profit from us and benefit white people. I'm not
bro,
saying what you're saying is a lie, right? I know about William Ellison Jr. Google
I
him.
just want you guys to know that it's humans in general, and we were programmed to slavery and programmed to racism, and we need to get it to fucking together in 2024 because y'all know now that it wasn't all of us and it wasn't like that, and we need to come together as a people because shit is fucked up for us
That's not
right
my
now.
conversation, though. My
That's the
conversation,
conversation though. That
my
needs to be the
conversation.
conversation because that's what's
Listen,
going on right now. That needs to
listen.
be the headline of everything every day until shit gets fixed. Because shit
In
is
order
fucked
for
up right
in
now. We
order
need
for
to be
us to
together as
in
humans
order
and as
for
people.
us, listen, in order for us to even have that conversation, you have to
Mhm.
acknowledge what I'm saying. And because I don't believe most whites are willing to acknowledge what I'm saying, even with the best intentions, we can't have that conversation.
Bro, if
The
black people sent out a
hold the fuck,
calling or some sort of calling card or some shit
y'all.
like
Listen,
that, of the white people they wanted to stand up, they would be fucking so
yo, Gary,
surprised. They wouldn't even they couldn't even imagine all the white people that would be by their side.
yo,
It would be
Gary, I
most of
listen to you,
America,
bro.
bro.
Yo,
And y'all
Gary, I
be
listen
hating
to
on the ones that would. Like I'm saying though, we would be
Gary.
so strong, bro.
Yo, my
It's
brother
just so
Gary.
much bullshit. Y'all don't even realize. Like y'all just
Yo, my
called for
bro,
us one time, we would
yo,
be
my
there,
brother
bro. Like
Gary. My brother Gary, listen to me. Like, we not arguing, right? I can tell your character. I actually like you a lot, Gary. But
I
listen to what I'm
appreciate it,
saying.
man. I just
Listen
want
to
us
what
to
I'm
be
saying.
together, bro, because we divided as people. We
Listen
divided
to
as fuck.
listen to what I'm saying. We are gonna remain divided if we can't acknowledge certain truths. That's what I'm saying to you. You
What do
get
you
what I'm
want me
saying?
to acknowledge as a white male? What would you like me to acknowledge? I'm asking. What would you like me to acknowledge? And I will keep it 100% with you, even if it sounds racist. But I don't
That
have
was a
too much racist. I have logical sense. So
that
please
that was
hit
a
me.
great question. That was a great question. So peep it. I want you to acknowledge the fact that I have a legitimate reason to feel like I can't build with you if you're building with the Donald.
Brother, mute your mic.
What?
But that's politics.
What the fuck
That's
kind of
not
crazy shit
individuality.
is that?
That's politics. And we are all people. We are all human. We are all to be debated with. We were all to be. We could discuss. We could come to that. What is a revolution then, bro?
We can't separate certain things though.
We
Politics do
can.
play a
We
part.
are men. We are fucking men. We can separate whatever, bro. We could
Listen,
do whatever.
Yo,
We're
Gary.
men. We own this
Yo,
earth
Gary.
and men. And I'm
Gary,
sorry, women. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean that
nah,
disrespectfully. But you
you ain't
guys
gotta
are y'all's
apologize.
own
They
job.
understand. They understand your spirit. Here's what I'm
Y'all
saying.
men, how y'all
Here's what
men
I'm
coming?
saying, Gary.
You're
Here's
good,
what I'm
Gary.
saying to you. I
I'm
ain't want to cut
listening, bro.
nobody off. Here's
I'm
what I'm
listening
saying
to
to
you.
you, Gary, right? So when it comes to that conversation, like in the perfect world, I am by your side, Gary. That's not the world I live in. I live in a world where Russians kill Ukrainians. I live in a world where the Hutus kill the Tutsis. Everyone has their own people.
So maybe we need to work together as one specific job in order to make it to where we all work to fucking together because it's not working divided, as you can tell.
I
Our
can't tell that.
technology's building, but we're dividing as people as we get more successful. The more successful we get, the more divided we get, it seems like.
But
It's
but I
sickening.
disagree.
It's like
I
you get
disagree with
whatever
you.
you want, but yet you want to keep spreading hate. You want to keep hating. It's like for
But
what? Why
but
can't we
look,
be
Gary,
together? Like
I
you know,
disagree with you
motherfuckers
in the
died and
terms.
fought for what y'all want right now. And you got
Listen,
what you
Gary.
want, and it's like you're right there, and it's like, okay, bring
Listen,
some of the white
Gary.
people with you, and this is what we gonna do. What
Listen,
is
Gary. I disagree with you in the terms of it's not working. It is
Because you
working.
say you
Hold on.
disagree.
Let
What
me make
about what
my
you
point.
believe and what you
Let
manifest,
me
bro?
make my point, and I promise you, you'll
That shit
understand it. It might
crazy
You
with the
keep
possibly agree.
believing in negative shit's gonna come upon you, bro. You
You're
gotta
not
you gotta
listening.
think positive, bro.
You're not
No,
listening.
you coming to a
Hear me
conclusion where
out.
white and
Yo,
black people
Gary,
can
yo,
never work
Gary,
together,
hear me
and I'm
out.
not for
You're
that. I don't
sitting
believe
here
in that
listening
because
to
we
you,
already
Gary.
in full effect, bro.
I'm gonna tell you where you was wrong.
We
I've been sitting here,
75% right now.
I've been sitting here listening to you. I'm gonna tell you where you was wrong. You said it's not working. It is working exactly like it should work for certain people. That's the
Okay.
issue.
So why can't we
That's the
push the
issue.
narrative of positivity? And why is it got to be backtracked? Why do we got to keep
Now,
reliving our past, bro? Why can't we live in the future, bro? Where we're at, bro? Why can't you see what you've overcame and what you've progressed and what you got versus what you keep what you keep dwelling on
now,
you've lost and
that's
what you
real. Now
so
that's real.
so like
Are you asking me that because you want to learn or
yeah
you just want to talk?
I'm just saying though, like
All right,
I'm
so let me
asking,
answer.
bro.
So let me answer what you just
Go
said.
ahead.
Let
I'm
me
gonna shut
answer.
up. I'm gonna shut up. I'm
All
gonna shut
right.
up. Go ahead.
You know what I teach my babies? At any point in life, look to the left of you, look to the right of you, and understand any white person next to you, you're better than because you had to go through more than them. This is what I teach my babies, right?
You shouldn't
Now,
do that.
listen,
what?
That's
chill out.
being
Chill
prudent.
out.
That's in the
Let
Bible.
me let
You
me let
shouldn't
me
do
finish.
that.
Let me
Sounds pretty
finish.
racist to me,
That's
if you
no
Two
ask me.
wrongs
that's
don't
no
make a right,
let,
bruh. What we
let
did to
me
you back in the past, you should never
let me
relive, and you should never
let
repay
me
us for in
Gary.
regression, bruh, and revenge. You gonna get the
Yo,
worst outcome,
Gary. Yo, Gary, if you want to build, listen to me a little bit, right?
bruh.
Because
Oh, who
That's not
does?
positive,
that
bruh.
is in no way an indictment on you.
But I
That's
know it's
just
not, bruh. But that's not positive for the whole universe, bruh. That isn't a positive thing, bruh. Don't
so
trust him
get
because he's white. Bro, it's
so
2024. I would
so
die
to
for a
me,
black man. I
so
don't
to me,
understand what you're
Gary,
saying.
so to me,
That
Gary,
doesn't
you
make
Okay,
want to
sense to
listen
hang
to
me,
on,
bro.
hang
songs.
on, people, hang on, people. I hate to cut everybody off, but we getting close to the end of the show. I want to go through, and I want everybody to get their last remarks, and then
I would die for my stepdad, bro. I love my stepdad, bro.
after
I
we
don't,
after
my,
we do last remarks, I want us to go ahead and shout out and promote your platform that you on, and then we're gonna close the show out. I appreciate everybody that came on the show, and I appreciate everybody. To the next Monday, we're gonna jump on and get in. Okay, so let's go through the panel, and everybody
I'm gonna
shout
go
out.
last.
All right, so Miss Fields, go ahead.
Um, uh, great conversation. What's his name again? Wall Street, Wall Street, Wall Street, Wall Street. Lord have mercy. You got some healing to do and some work to do. Because I don't totally disagree with everything that you said, but I do believe that you need to what's the word? I think you need to just self reflect and adjust accordingly. And the world is not against you anymore than they were back then. And things will be difficult. And you kept saying where I live, the life that I lived, and where I am, and where I am. So the only word I have for you is that maybe you need to change the world that you live in. And the only way that you can do that is by being a positive person, knowing that people aren't always against you, no matter what their race is. Okay, you're gonna really laugh in the middle of what I'm saying.
Nah, I didn't mean to laugh, but hold up.
I mean that's
Can
like
I
not
say
disrespectful. I'm just saying.
I'm my fault?
Okay,
Just to
because
your
I'm a
point, it
whole.
changed
Because
my
I'm a.
surroundings, right?
Okay, but no. So what? I live in the. Okay, you want to go there right quick? I live in a $500,000 home on almost 4 acres of land. I have a husband, 3 children. He works. I stay home. I watch the kids. I cook. I clean. I do everything I'm supposed to do. I'm living my life. I'm raising my kids. So guess what? Like I said earlier, we beat the odds. We did the work to get where we wanted to be. Okay? We didn't stay in the projects. We didn't do any of that. We said, no, our future is what matters, and our future of our children is what matters. So we took ourselves out of whatever we went through in life, whether it's sexual assault, whether it's racism, no matter what it was, we worked through it, and now we here. I'm Drake. We started from the bottom, now we here. Okay? Now I don't know nothing about you, but I ain't that one. So don't disrespect me. Now, all I'm saying to you is whatever you're going through in your life that has you thinking in the mentality that you do, that everybody is against you. No, let me tell you who's against you. You're against you. You are the problem. You are why you cannot move forward. You are the issue. And until you figure it out, you're going to stay here on these podcasts and you're going to be saying the same bullshit and regurgitating the same bullshit. And on that, I land my plan. And I love the rest of y'all.
Not me.
Not right now. No, I don't. Because you was
Oh
disrespectful as
shit!
hell. And I don't know. But Mr. Skills
Oh
don't play that.
shit!
Don't let this stay at home wife shit fool you. I'm a whole thug. You not playing with me like that, boo boo. Okay?
All right, go ahead. Let's bring it around the table. Who next?
You.
I'm next.
Yeah, let's get
No,
you
let
out
that
your
man
way.
be.
Like
Let that
promote,
man be last,
promote,
please. Let that
promote,
man be
promote your
last,
brand,
please.
promote your brand, and let's keep it moving. Don't you know?
I ain't really got no brand other than black people. But here's my thing, right? One
Black
thing
Wall
about
Street.
me, one thing about me, I wanted to be understood is I'm doing extremely well in life, right? That has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with the reality of the people that I care about. I put my people first. I don't like living in a gated community surrounded by others because I beat the odds, right? So everybody's not gonna always be my people. Shout out to my man Gary. I would love to live in the stars. But again, I established very simple points throughout this, and I want to run through them real quick. I live in a world where Russians are fighting Ukrainians and the Hutus fight the Tutsis. So I have to ask myself, who are my people? And how can I take care of them? So when it comes to racism, I fundamentally believe, like, if you look at world history, not just US, not just your family's history, none of that shit. When you look at world history, every type of oppression that you can find was based mainly around some form of racism. Italians and Irish weren't even considered uh, white at one point, and now they want to tell you that they were slaves. The point I'm making is this, right? I'm concerned with my own. So back to the topic of, can black people be racist? I feel like the only people that can be racist are people who benefit from racism. I don't think a black person can stop any white person from moving into a community. I don't think a black person can stop any white person from voting. It is an undisputable, undeniable fact that my people were denied the right to vote for no other reason that they were black. My people were denied their freedom for no other reason that they were black. Those wrongs have never been corrected. So I understand why certain people just want to sweep it under the rug. If I had a 400-year head start, I'd want to sweep that bullshit under the rug too. Peace to the gods, peace to the queen. And I love you too, sis. And there's nothing you can do about it. Both sides, your white side and your black side. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Signing off.
Right on, right on,
That was some
right
good
on, right
shit.
on. Trey
I like
Ferg.
that. That was good.
Man, y'all want me to
Go ahead,
follow
Wall
that?
Street. Go ahead, Black Wall Street.
No.
Yeah.
There you go. Go ahead.
You know what? I totally agree with the last three things that he said. However, you know, in 2024 and going beyond for our future as a nation of people, it's imperative that you educate yourself, not just with American education, but look at other cultures from around the world. This is the greatest time for a black man to sort of grab hold of his future and get the skills and tools needed to change the dynamic of whatever his past was, regardless of where you live, anywhere in America. If you lived in an urban community, then they're coming for your community. They're going to continue to push you out regardless. So take advantage of the resources. Do not take no for an answer. Continue to dive deeper in a greater understanding of who you are and what you're looking for in your life. Do not let those that are in power, do not let the prejudices or racism that you may have endured or your ancestors may endure and you may or may not endure yourself, limit your options and limit your opportunity. If you live by a lifestyle, then you're going to be dealt with by a certain lifestyle. This is your greatest time. These immigrants are not coming here to just live here. They're coming for your apartments that you're renting. If you're not owning homes, you have no collective bargaining in your neighborhood. So they're going to push you out regardless. So start looking at your future. Start saving your money. Stop buying all this knockout shit, all these games. Teach your children life skills needed to be able to be self-sufficient and independent. I'm telling you again, this is the greatest time for the African American male to find a niche in this country. I don't give a damn how much shit y'all talk about the United States. Ain't nobody going nowhere. Y'all gonna be right here. But you better find your niche. You better create a dynamic for yourself. So when you're ready to age out, when your ass get 55 and gray like me, then you're able to put yourself in a position where you don't have to work for nobody. You can have those resources coming and building based off what you put into yourself and into your children. So, we can talk about this type of stuff forever. Yes, we had our ancestors, they went through, but guess what? They was 10 times smarter than us because they invented every fucking thing that we benefit from. And we are using those shit. And just to clarify my last thing, when we say proper English, the correct way is standard English. It's a standard. And when you in Rome, do what the fuck Romans do. Become a chameleon. If you want to make the bag, then learn how to speak a certain way. When you go back to your fellas, you can go back to your language that you speak. But when you're trying to make that bag and create another lane for yourself, you better switch code that shit like they do. That's all
I'm
it is.
doing well.
So
I'm
continue
doing
to
well.
do what you gotta do for those that are. If not, if you want different, think different, do better, continue to educate yourself, and your whole life will change. Other than that, stop crying about that shit. I digress.
Peace, God.
That part. That part. Let's go.
I could build with Ferg. We
Oh,
got a
and
link.
by the way, Timotheus and Morphine, look, I appreciate y'all, man. It's always a pleasure. Morphine, you looking better and better with that natural look, girl. I see you over. I see you, girl. And I love
Yes,
chocolate. I
sir.
don't give a damn what y'all talking about.
Hey, yo, Ferg, chill out, man. It's building before the buns, Ferg. It's building before the buns.
All right, Maurice. Maurice, go ahead and say what you got to say and drop where people can find you and all that good jazz.
Yeah. I just listening to Trey Ferg here, man. That was tough to follow because I nearly agree with everything that man said. That was on point, on point. But I did write some notes down, so let me go through those. One of the first things I'm realizing is that Black people in general need to figure out what they want to do, whether it's they're going to assimilate or segregate. The issue is you're trying to do both, or what I've been noticing is Black people trying to do both. They're trying to assimilate in some aspects and segregate in other aspects. And listen, you essentially serving two masters. And if you serving two masters, you're never gonna grow in a direction. So you got to figure out what it is that you got to do. Another thing I heard about was
That was
abuse.
real.
Yeah, something that I heard a little bit about is abuse transference, right? I'm hearing this Black people um enslaving other Black people or Black people essentially what it is abuse transference. We're essentially, there is a historic abuse coming from white people to Black people, And then black people, the way abuse works is you find somebody of less power to be able to abuse. So there's this transference that happens. We need to learn how to stop that. And as we all know, shit rolls downhill. So we gotta stop shitting down the hill. You know what I'm saying? Certain aspects too. There's a thing I noticed amongst all the things that we was talking about is there's a certain bit of naivety that's going on. This assumption that everything's going to be all right if we just think positive thoughts. What ends up
Mm,
happening, whenever that happens, or people take that, eventually they get burned. And when they get
mm,
burned, they get hit pretty damn hard, you know what I'm saying? And they fall. And usually where they fall like into the pits of hell and they become damn cynical. Like
mm.
the other person that was part of this conversation.
Preach God. I'm with you
so
because I
so
agree.
you go from naive and then you get burned, then you become cynical, you don't trust nothing.
Mm,
But you need to come back from being cynical to start to get to that level where you start negotiating. Because there's always going to be plus and minuses. Every human being on this earth has their devil and angel sitting there with them, and you got to be able to negotiate with that person to figure out how much of their devil you're going to deal with and how much of their angel you're going to deal with. um Certain aspects of all the other things that I've been hearing as well, there was a lot of conflation going on. I would love to sit down and break down all these conflations and just bad logic that's happening. But in order for that to happen, we actually have to have a conversation, not a shouting match. And I wanted to second what Trey Ferg was saying about taking examples from other cultures. That's huge for me. If it's working over there, there's no reason why won't work over here. You've got to be able to figure out what works and then apply that. Whenever I say stuff like that, people love saying, "What we ain't the Chinese, we ain't the Indians, we ain't the white people. Our problems are our problems." I'm like, all right, you're missing the point. We're
we could
people,
be.
and people can borrow things from other cultures. It's a weird thing, especially with this aspect of um appropriation that I've been seeing, where like let a white person take or borrow something from the black culture or whatever, we're flipping out. But and yet we won't do the same thing. Yeah, there's tons of things that's happening in these other cultures that are gold, and we refuse to pick it up. We refuse to use it. And I'm a huge advocate. I'm gonna land my plane with this one. I'm a huge advocate of exploiting the resources that you have access to. We love looking at the resources that other people have access to, but you don't have access to it. But you can fully exploit the resources that you actually have access to. And in that exploitation, you'll find different um different sets of jewels and value within those aspects. But yeah, that's kind of like my last point.
Peace God.
All righty, and here he is right here up on the screen on SoundCloud at Maxi MAXSI.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All
Yes, sir.
right.
Thank you for that.
Uh,
I got wrapped up. I forgot to mention that shout out. Go ahead. Thank you, though.
right on, right on. So, Mr. Paul, tell him what's your last thoughts, your last words, and tell him where they can find
IG under Top Deezy, and Facebook Paul Top Gallimore. I
you. Your
have a
sound is low.
Facebook
You got to
page.
get closer to the mic or
Oh,
something.
can you hear me now?
You got some feedback, sir. You got some feedback.
Well, I'll just say peace. Y'all have a blessed one.
Peace God.
All righty. Morphine, you got something to say? Your mouth is moving, but you're not saying nothing.
I'm sorry. I want. I was trying to tell him that I'm fixing his mic right now. You got to stop muting so I can fix your mic, though. All right. Then I'm gonna do that. Now talk. Stop muting.
Testing, testing. Test,
No, that
test,
background feedback is
testing,
clear. I can't do it.
I
testing,
think it's an
testing. Can you hear me now? Testing,
We can
testing.
hear you. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Is there an
We
echo?
just going to deal with. We can hear you, but we're going to deal with your
Yeah.
echo. But I know you sound better than everybody else because I just turned your mic up. Go ahead. Say
I
it.
want to see as far as uh, if I'm echoing, I don't want to, and it's going to be bad. So I'll just say I believe that we can be racist. Maybe not extremely racist in power, but yeah, we have our little hang-ups about other races, and I think we just we need to be honest with each other and stop hiding behind systematic racism as opposed to personal racist ideas. Again, I'll say we, like white people, we don't want to be called racist. Prejudice is much easier to accept, and I land my plane.
All right. Um, I guess it's left to me and Timotheus. I went first last time, so Timotheus, you go first. I go last because I like ending the show. It's my thing to do.
All right. All I gotta say is I want to show great appreciation to everybody that's come up on the panel. This was an excellent show. I want to shout out to the the white chocolate brother that came up here. You know that was a treat. You know, to bring in a different perspective. I was, I appreciate him for tuning in and watching. You know, we got fans and subscribers all over. So I greatly appreciate him coming in and tuning in and subscribing. Make sure you subscribe to Trey Ferg, Maurice, uh, the brother Street. Tune in. Follow everybody. Tune in to more conversations with the average black man. This is an old screenshot, so don't ignore that 3 subscribers. But if y'all see that, go ahead and click that subscribe and get them numbers up. We'd appreciate that so much. And go ahead, Morphine.
Um, I would say for me, listen, for me, I believe that black people could be racist. It's not only towards other races, but as well as towards each other. In a definition that we read today, one of the guys said that if it's unrealistic and outside of your experiences, then it's not considered racism, which was like mind blowing to me because I was like, well, shit, a lot of things that are prejudice could be considered racist, even though that the word prejudice is a root word of racism and racist. So it was like I say, a soup full of interpretations going on. Um, I would like to end the show with my co-host already produced and I would say advertised our show already, and I just would like to thank all the panelists, especially Gary, because he was like really a surprise. We always talk about having people like him come up that is a different race than black to come up and give their opinion on the show, and that was a good treat. And I hope he'll come again if he sees us. I hope he subscribed to us so we could come up in his notifications and many more people that may think like him and may support him that want to come in and share their ideas and opinions on certain topics that we may have. Again, thank my panelists of all these wonderful people that joins us consistently. I would like to thank y'all, and I will also like to thank the people that come in consistently view us. Again,
Right.
this is another more contentious. I'm sorry, more conversations with the average black man. Again, more conversations with the average black man.
Right.
Till next
Before
Monday.
you
What
get
is our
wait, wait,
next
wait,
Monday
wait, wait,
show?
wait, wait, wait,
What's
wait,
our
wait,
next
wait,
Monday
wait,
show
wait,
though?
wait, wait,
Like we
wait,
always know
wait,
what the
wait,
next.
wait. Next week we're gonna be talking about power dynamics. Can two people lead a relationship? But
Right.
it was
Ooh.
uh what else? She just saying that made me lose my chain of thought. Damn.
And
Oh,
Wall
I want to
Street
make
will be
sure
back.
everybody that's cross sharing, because Morphine and I set up the StreamYard to where if you got your own StreamYard, you can cross share. We appreciate you for exposing us to your audience, and when you guys come on, always do that, and we can cross platform share and build our audiences together. You know what I'm saying? Right on. So that's why we put that. That's why we put that there, to make sure that we can all share each other's platform, introduce your audience to mine and yours, and vice versa. Right on. I
Salute.
appreciate that.
Oh, one more thing. One more thing. Happy Women's Month, people. It's
Uh,
Women's Month.
It's time to go out and clap on.
It's
Boo.
Women's Month.
Hey, hey,
It's
gotta go.
Women's Month.
hey, they're
It's
gonna
a
be giving
happy,
out shit for
happy
free. They're gonna
Women's
get
Month.
all the chicks you can get for free.
No, I'm just playing.
You're
I'm just
breaking
playing. Here
up.
we go.
Breaking
Let
up.
me
Get
throw
We
all
this
the
out
can't
there.
hear you. You're
Let me
breaking
throw
up.
this. Hold on. Let me hit the soundboard for Women's Month. Hold on. Oh no, my soundboard ain't working.
Yeah, the
Man.
ancestors, they trying to hear that. The ancestors, the ancestors, they
Well,
trying to hear that.
just
They
tell the
trying to
people
Sunday.
Wall Street will be back. It
Black.
was
Right.
a
Make
good
sure
bill.
everybody hit. Make
Can
sure
I
y'all all hit
change
that
your
like
name
and
to Black
subscribe. And
Wall
like I
Street?
said,
You gotta go and get some Black Wall
next
Street
month the
all day.
topic is power dynamics. Can two people lead a relationship? With all the shifts in the economic standing seen between men and women over the decades, women now have financial power and can take care of themselves.
yeah.
Which has put what we would seem to be a huge strain on the dating market. You know what I mean? So we're gonna
Hell
we're gonna
Tim.
go we're gonna go into that, and we're gonna figure out, can two people lead a relationship? Is that practical? You know what I mean? That's next
Hell
Monday.
Tim.
Work. Is it going to
Yo,
work,
yo.
people?
And look,
Next Monday, you said?
hey, and y'all gonna disagree with me just as much on that point as y'all did today, my nigga. But I will
Hey,
be
hey,
there.
you never know, because
We
I
gonna
haven't,
welcome
I
you
haven't
back,
said
Black
where I
Wall
can't.
Street.
I haven't presented my stance on that either. But yeah, we gonna get it popping next week. Same back time, same back channel. Appreciate everybody
And I
coming up.
can't wait, Mr. Wall Street.
Oh, did Jess?
Peace,
Did you do
black
your
people.
Did Jess do
And the
her
name
shout
of
out?
Wall Street.
No,
Yeah, I
no,
did
Jesse.
mine.
You did. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Jesse went. Everybody went. We was the last two. All right. Again, till
Wait. Somebody got a fan. Somebody got a fan. Ah, there it is. Hold on.
Don't do that.
Look,
Don't do that.
Sugar Daddy. Oh, I got
Don't do
Teddy
that.
bear.
Sugar
Don't do
Daddy.
that.
Teddy bear.
You guys know
okay,
that. That's a whole
Dad.
man, right? You know that's a
Don't do
whole
it,
man.
black man. Don't do it, black man. Building before the boost. Never forget that. Building.
That's a whole man. Don't if she comes trolling my stuff, I'm coming after you, Tim. She
That's
comes trolling me and my stuff, I'm coming after you, bro. Whatever.
Oh,
Whatever.
Lord.
Teddy bear. Ooh.
hey, as
Jesus.
Talk
serious
about
as
networking.
as
Yo, listen.
as heated and dynamic as this conversation was, I wanted to end it with something on a lighter note. Be smiling and all of that type of stuff, because this was a pretty heated conversation, and yeah.
Oh, thank you. I was waiting for my glory.
Yeah, so
Hey, yo,
twerk,
pause.
I need my
pencil, twerk.
glory.
Hey, doom,
Hey,
doo, doo, doo,
hey,
doom, doo, doo,
hey,
doo, doom, doo,
hey,
doo, doo, doo,
hey.
doo. Big booty, jump with it.
I'm going out.